Oh, hello. That's the wrong overlay. There we go. We're on the right one now. How's it going? What's up? Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. I was trying to time it because Melissa said she needed to sneeze, and I wanted to get her right. As the sneeze was happening, I missed because I screwed up, but I put us on die for some reason. Wrong game. But hey, we're Adventures in Lollygagging. We're playing Mothership this afternoon, this evening, tonight, whenever this is. This is not the first time we've played Mothership. I think all of us have played it at various points, but it's the first time we played it in a while, I think. So that should be fun. Should be fun. We are going to be doing, it's not like a major campaign or anything, but it's probably going to be maybe 2 sessions, possibly 3, but more than likely 2 sessions as we gear up for a new campaign that we're probably going to start at the beginning of December. That's going to be probably Call of Cthulhu. So we're going to be doing just some Mothership just for funsies and kind of go from there. Okay, so I'm just going to ask... We're not going to do character introductions just yet, so just say who you are, and I'm just curious, how much do you remember how to play Mothership? So introduce yourself, Long. Who are you? How much do you remember of Mothership?
Yeah, I'm playing a teamster named Chili, and I remember Mothership being very death-heavy. A lot of people dying.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Did you die a lot, though? Now that
I actually survived. I was injured, but I survived.
Yeah,
he had a foot cut off.
He did have a foot cut off, and he had a pet penguin in the Gradient Descent campaign. I remember that. But I think you've actually survived. Right. It was Death in Space, different similar sort of themed game where you died because you decided to step into a black hole for reasons. My Trey, who are you playing? What do you remember of Mothership?
I'm Maitri, and I remember very little. But like Long, the thing I remember is that it is death heavy. Yeah. And that is probably one of the only things I remember about Mothership.
Well, I did pick a very friendly Mothership scenario, which there probably won't be a
very
lot
off-brand for you. That I don't know if I believe you.
I don't really like to kill characters as much as I enjoy torturing them and just. Well, yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, just like the
almost killing.
Yeah, almost killing. Sure. Yeah. Ashley, introduce yourself and tell us what you remember of playing Mothership.
I am playing Torvu. I remember 9 equates a headshot, and I got 3 of those.
Yeah, a couple by Steven.
1 by Steven, yeah. And then 1 by an android. And then you were merciful and allowed me to re-roll, but the gods decided that it was going to stay a 9.
I did.
And then
I think we burned some audience boost. Oh, yeah.
And that was when I lived.
Yeah, Linda. Yeah.
Lorraine.
Lorraine, that's right. Did you play a Linda in something? You played a Linda in something.
I had a Linda.
Was that Hunter, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the one session that we met Linda.
No, that was Diane.
No, that was...
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Diane. It started with a D. We were just talking about the other day in Werewolf. What was it? No. It was something else. I can't remember. It's going to drive me nuts now. Yeah, that's what it was. There it is. Yeah. Dinah. Dinah. Yeah. And that voice you hear is Melissa cutting in line, cheating as she always does. Melissa, tell us
as I do.
What you know of Mothership.
I had something really good and then I forgot it. So I remember in Mothership the bell sound from Gradient Descent, the infernal sounding of the bell that just made all of us so very happy. Very reminiscent of the ice cream truck sound from Impossible Landscapes. So that is one of the things that I remember about Mothership.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy getting those random sounds here and there. I'm trying to see if I still have it queued up. I don't think I actually have it queued up. I'll look for it though. I just got another one in what were we playing the other day? Oh yeah, we were playing Monster of the Week, and I got the pigs.
Yes, the
pig sounds were awesome. And in Werewolf, I've been doing the modem sounds and stuff like that. That's been a lot of fun.
Yes.
And then finally, Steven, welcome back, buddy. We've missed you the past week or so. What do you know of Mothership?
Yeah, I remember either the first or second session, I took a shotgun to the throat, and I only had a white tank top, so it became a red tank top after that.
Yeah.
I remember failing a lot of checks. Really,
Yeah.
that's what I
Remember the
remember
socks?
most about Mothership.
We stuffed your throat with socks to staunch the bleeding.
Is that what we did?
Yeah, they were
That's all we had.
socks.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Derek
Socks.
shit in the elevator.
Derek shit. I was surprised no one remembered the shit elevator. Like maybe it
I
was just
wasn't
trauma.
there that session.
Yes, it was
Oh,
traumatic.
God.
We try not to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. God dang. I still get comments about that on YouTube every now and then. Like, that is just gross. I'm like, yep. That's why he's not in the stream anymore. It's actually kicking off. So, let's see. Is this the right sound? There
you
it
broke
is.
Ashley
That's
with
it.
that.
That's it. That's the sound
Oh,
right there. I did have
there it is.
Well, the good news is that you guys are not on. We're not doing gradient descent. That's what that's a reference to. We're doing a scenario that's actually from Hull Breach, which is an anthology of a variety of Mothership resources, some missions, some tools for running the game, etc., etc. So we're going to be running something out of that. So if you have a copy of that, you should take a look at Roadwork, because that's what we're going to be playing around with. And if you're playing this game with me and you look at that, Melissa, Ashley, Long, you definitely should not do that, because that would be cheating.
I never
so-
read those things.
Sure.
You know, I don't even read things I should read.
I'm almost looking like, I don't read. Come on. Oh, goodness. Okay. So we're going to get a little further introduction. We're going to play around with the character introductions here in a minute as we get started. So let me just give you a very quick background on where you guys are doing. Then we'll kind of start with the actual end scene. So this is sort of just quick, very simple background. So for reasons that you can define later and or never, you don't necessarily have to define this, but this could be something that you guys cover. You're a crew, you know each other. All of you are going to know each other. Without a ship, you can figure out why you don't have a ship at some point, but you definitely don't have one. So you've been a little desperate for work for a while now, but you did find a surprisingly lucrative job from the megacorp GreenStar Logistics. You saw a job posting on one of the GreenStar sponsored stations that was looking for folks to crew a roadwork freighter, and that's kind of what they're called. They're freighters that kind of go out and help kind of blaze specific paths for hyperspace lanes and such. And the name of the ship is the Apian Way. The duties are pretty simple, and again, that's why it was kind of surprising how lucrative it kind of was. The duties are basically simple stuff. You're servicing ship systems. You're assisting a variety of GreenStar scientists and what they're terming hyperspace studies. And you're going to be planned to. It's like there's a warning. You're going to be making multiple hyperspace jumps, and for each jump, you're going to be getting 10,000 credits per jump, which is just sort of super easy, barely an inconvenience. So, what you're going to do. So that's basically the background. And as we go, you're welcome to elaborate on any of that backstory about what might have happened to your previous ship. Who knows? So, with that, why don't we go ahead and why don't we kind of just get started? So let's get started. In scene, in moment. Get a little music going. We're going to open on the exterior shot of a bulky freighter. We can see the kind of large painted letters, the Apian Way on the side. We kind of zoom around. We see that it's docked to a GreenStar station. We see the GreenStar logo everywhere, on walls, across the floors. We see it even on the freighter itself. We hear the sounds of hydraulics kind of opening, closing, and we see as the cargo bay door open, the ramp kind of comes down, and we see a group of people, yourselves included, climbing up that ramp and heading inside of the ship. And you all, the five of you, are being led by a woman in her, we'll put it like mid-40s, late 40s or so. She is, we'll say she's probably a good 5'9", 5'10" or so. She has a mesh trucker's hat on, a mullet. You can tell that she's got like a bit of the side of her hair is kind of shaved down, and every now and then she takes it off and kind of rubs her hand through her hair, and you can definitely see the front as all business and the party is in the back. And you can tell as she talks about the ship, she does so with like a great joy kind of comes to her eyes, which are otherwise fairly heavy and dark. And she kind of talks with a little bit of a southern drawl. She introduces herself. She's like, y'all can call me Tex. Welcome to the Appian Way. Let me go ahead and just give y'all a basic tour, and then we'll be underway. Very excited to have you aboard. There's only a handful of other folks who'll make proper introductions, so we can kind of get the show on the road as best we can. And so we kind of follow this group as they go into this cargo bay. You look around cargo bay, everything is like any cargo bay you've ever seen. There's nothing really stands out. You see it's well stocked. There's all sorts of crates and such here and there. Some seem to be marked for food, some are marked for fuel, etc. There's all plenty of things. It's very heavily stocked. And like you kind of push through the airlock, you see the cargo bay door start to close. You hear the hydraulics start kind of going through everything. And we're going to look around and we're going to see that the first person who's going to describe themselves, like maybe the person like standing right next to Tex as she kind of takes her hat off one more time, scratches her head and kind of points around here and there. First person is going to be, let's see, standing next to her is going to be Ashley. Ashley, tell us what we see when we see Tavru 009.
So Tavru goes by Rue. She has a very platinum blonde, just sharp cut haircut. Like a very French bob, kind of cuts off at the chin. She's dressed very business casual. She's got like the smart pants on. She's got her tucked in button-up dress shirt and a blazer that she's wearing on top of it. All dark blues. And she's rather tall. She's about 6 foot. She's a tall lady.
Now, as you're kind of walking through this cargo bay, she's pointing out various resources for those of you who might actually use them. I'm going to go ahead and pull the players over to a layout of the Appian Way as you're kind of brought in level 1 cargo bay. Now, the basics here is that like she's stacked up all over the place. Like I was saying, they're all these like GreenStar labeled resources and stuff. As she kind of ventures in one direction, like, okay, you head on that way, you got the drive all the way in the stern, but come on, this way, and she's kind of motioning to everybody. Tavru is like the first to come. The rest of you start filing down this hallway. She's now like kind of doing the museum curator kind of thing, like walking backwards, and she like points off to her right and like, over here's life support. Don't worry, there's not a whole lot you can do in there right now. It's controlled computer boards up on the second level. Control everything you need here. If you're looking for lifts, you got 2 different lifts. We've got one over on starboard side, got one over on port side. Both take you up to second level. Come on this way. And she kind of keeps kind of pulling you in until you get on the elevator. Tavru gets on first. And then Tavru, your best friend, the person that you probably get along with the most of this group, is the one who gets on next. So Stevens, tell us what that looks like.
Yes, I am playing Stevens, and Stevens wears a brown and orange jumpsuit, like coveralls, but he has like the top half rolled down and like bundled up, so it like kind of flares out at the hips. He's got like the sleeves and stuff rolled up, and then on top of that, he actually wears like a scientist lab coat, but with the sleeves torn off, so it looks a little more punk because. He's smart, but he's got an edge to him. And he also looks surprisingly like this. He's got a bald head, shaved, but it would be bald if he grew his hair out, and a bit of a beard to him. And he's quite attractive, if I do say so myself.
but you said it looks like this.
Oh, Jeff, don't play hard to get.
So Tavru, you get on. Stevens follows. The two of you, I like to do these little PC connections rolls. The two of you are best friends. How long have the two of you known each other?
Oh, years and years at this point, I think.
Yes.
I, of course, am a salvage expert, but I dabble in rodent pathology. And I'm sure Tavru has been a research assistant at some point, some sort of colleague.
I don't. Yeah,
Just say you crunch some numbers for me, Tavru.
She crunches numbers for you, but also Tavru collects. So Tavru has a chess set that's made of bones, and she's missing some pieces. So she has been collecting the bones from the rats from Steven's tests, and she has been using them to create her missing chess pieces. So it's kind of like our weird bonding time. Our craft nights is
I breed a lot of rats, and if a couple go missing, I don't ask questions. It's kind of a relief.
You guys are basically
there's so many of them.
The creepy version of Red and Andy from Shawshank is basically what this is.
We also like to go shopping for each other and then never wear the clothes that were gifted.
Mm-hmm.
So like he has like a decent set of like slacks, dress shirts. He never touches them. Rue has like the weirdest assortment of almost like, like those clowns have those really puffy like neck pieces that they wear sometimes.
I give you like neck frills?
Yeah, you gave me like neck frills.
That's how you stop itching, is what it is.
You're like, this is so when you're eating and it drops, it can just collect it instead of a bib. This is like bibs for adults. That's what I think.
So the elevator hums a bit. It's basically a lift, and you can see kind of hum and churn a bit. It is fairly wide and spacious. You can tell this is the type of elevator that likely has like cargo for moving cargo, something that might go up to the second level. Maybe somebody coming down here to get crates of food, bringing them up there, whatever it might be. There's a large kind of like square dead space around, like walls where you assume is probably the drive column in the ship. But you can hear the drive beginning to kind of hum as it sounds almost as like they're getting ready to sort of push off a bit. And you guys get up to the second level, and this is where she comes. Textual. She gets out first, and she kind of gives Stevens's cut off lab coat a little eye. Kind of quirks her head, like, "Hey, I like your style. Very nice, very nice." All right. Anyhow, okay, right down this way here. You get to the drive room. Engines again back there. We'll meet up a little bit later on the drive. We'll kind of give you a little bit more of the details of what's going to be going on the job, what your responsibilities are going to be. However, let's go to the most important area. And she kind of starts, again, does the kind of curator thing, gets in front of you, starts walking backwards. And you all eventually find yourselves in the galley. And so the galley itself, you can see that there's like a one really big table. You can see there's like some stuff carved into the side of it, like scratched into it. It's bolted down onto the floor. You can see there's these little bottled ships here and there that have kind of been anchored in various places along the walls next to some of the cabinets and such. So after we see Tavru and Stevens enter in, the next person we see is going to be Maitre. Maitre, tell us what we see when Snevitz comes in next. And you apparently have a dark past with Stevens. So just tell us a little bit about what that might be.
So Snevitz walks in, and she has she's your marine, and she is big and buff, but that does not take away from the graceful and ethereal almost braids that she has, and which are woven in with golden twine. Well, I mean, it's not really golden. It's more clear from the paracord she was able to get, but she painted it gold. So it looks golden, but it's not actually. It's just nylon from paracord. But apart from generally being very brooding and constantly talking about the beauty of being among the stars, she looks suspiciously like Stevens. And the entire time that she has been here, she keeps looking over, like she can't stop staring at Stevens. And
Most people can't.
And yet it's not that lascivious lewd look you are used to. It's a look of, could this be my long lost twin that I have been looking for my entire life? Although, of course, she would never say it out loud, but she's just saying it you like a goth weirdo.
So as we're sort of zooming in, as Snevitz and Stevens are now standing relatively sort of shoulder to shoulder a bit, as you're all kind of sneaking into the galley, looking around, we kind of hear the droning of Tex as she talks a bit about like what's available, what's being dispensed. It's not very tasty, but it's nutritious. Don't worry. We see sneaking out from the shadows this Siamese cat that kind of starts weaving between the legs of Stevens and Snevitz, just sort of curling up and just rubbing very affectionately. It looks like the cat is about to move in the direction of, we'll say, Tavru, and then suddenly she just kind of recoils and just up at Tavru. And then Tech's like, oh, hey, here we go. Got a new crew member to introduce you all to. This here is Schrodinger. Yeah, look at her. Come on, go. Oh, looks like she took a liking to you two. That's very nice. She's always a little fickle, always kind of 50-50 on whether she's going to like you or not. But looks like she has taken a liking to two of you. She's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. I appreciate. Be careful what you feed her. She definitely takes care of rats just fine. Occasionally we get a couple of them here and there on the ship, and she's about as good of a hunter as it gets. And she leans down and just sort of like scratches the back, and you just hear the cat purr a little bit. Cat looks over.
I shake my leg to try and get it to go away.
And as you do, like the cat misinterprets your intentions as if you're being playful and just starts to like hop on and like kind of ride your leg a little bit here and there. And you can just hear this just affectionate purr coming out from their mouth. Oh, she really likes you. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
She's adorable, and I shake it a little harder trying to.
Oh, she's an excellent judge of character. I'll tell you that too. Excellent judge. We had a different crew on here a while back. She didn't like any of them. That crew tried to steal the whole ship. So if she doesn't really like you, that tends to be, well, let's just call that strike one, shall we say? And then you can see Tex kind of looks over at Tavru at that point. All right, now I was told one of y'all's a doctor. Is that right?
Yes, that is me, Dr. Zinnia.
And so, what do we see when we look over and we see Dr. Zinnia kind of step up? What does Dr. Zinnia look like there, Melissa?
So, Dr. Zinnia is this kind of short, round, kind of late middle-aged scientist woman. She has got like bags upon bags, just sort of like over her back, over her shoulder, all of those kinds of things. And so she has this sort of like tote bag on her right shoulder, and she's just sort of been like kind of talking a little bit. And she's just like, kind of just reassuring kind of voice, like, oh, meine Rata, meine Katze. This is where we are now. And you see that she has this little pet rat on her shoulder, and she's like, Geraldine, this is okay, Geraldine. And then she kind of was looking kind of at the tote bag, and she's like, and Toma, we are okay, we're okay. And if you look a little more closely, you notice that Toma is not an alive cat. Toma is a taxidermied cat that she's carrying in her tote bag on her shoulder.
So as you are kind of responding to text, we see that Stevens is still struggling a bit with Schrodinger, who just doesn't want to let go. And Schrodinger kind of climbs up, like rock climbing up your back until they get on your shoulder, and then leaps like a monkey from your shoulder and tries to essentially dive down onto Dr. Zinnia's pet rat. Dr. Zinnia, could you please make the first roll of the night and give us a speed roll? If you have any stats that might actually affect this, go right ahead. But give a speed roll to see if you can avoid your rat already getting
Jeff
attacked.
is killing a pet in the first 10 minutes of the game.
I linked the pet rules in our private chat for a reason.
That I did. Yeah. So all of Dr. Zinnia's skills are like computer AI hacking chemistry type things. So this is going up against us, though the audience has been generous. So I'm going to go ahead and just start using those to give myself a 51 for this.
Okay.
So it's 50-50-ish. Oh, and that's so close. 53 over 51.
Okay, so I rolled a 24 with Schrodinger. So Schrodinger is able to leap off of Stevens' shoulder onto your shoulder and effectively takes your rat and slams them to the ground. Now, obviously, everyone's going to quickly respond and recover and is able to separate the two. And you can even see Tex, oh, Schrody, what are you doing? No, come on. Now that's a good rat. That's not one of the other rats. It's a good rat. It's a pet rat. But nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead and say that your pet's going to take a little bit of damage, a little bit of scrape, and you can go ahead and increase your stress by 1, Dr. Zinnia, at seeing all this happen.
And what you'll notice as Geraldine kind of falls to the ground and she goes to pick Geraldine up, that Geraldine is already like missing one of her limbs. So
which doesn't have to, just a scrape is fine. We don't have to take a limb just yet.
Oh no, I'm just saying like she was already missing a limb, and so now she is further injured.
So, Dr. Zinnia, I rolled a random connection. You have a little bit of a crush on Snevitz. How's that going? That's the random.
Oh, wait, we're all connected. Oh, Snevitz. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, wait, we're all connected.
It's just a chain.
So, how is that going?
Yeah, how's that going?
Well, Dr. Zinnia presents a bit of a hoarder science-y type. So, this is one of those things where kind of attractiveness, Snevitz is like, all kind of her ideal. But the whole Snevitz, Stevens, rat, bone thing is a little bit concerning. So it's very much sort of this ambivalence right now of like, is the extracurricular activities of Snevitz going to be enough to kind of downplay the like attractive.
Oh, it's Torvu. Torvu's with the rat set.
Yeah.
And this is just how much Dr. Zinnia pays attention to the people around her.
When you pick up your rat, Torvu's like, Dr. Zinnia, if she does happen to pass, I have been learning taxidermy. Stevens has been teaching me. I believe that I have an extra arm that I could replace her front left with, and then it would be a perfect specimen.
Geraldine is perfect just the way she is. Thank you very much. And do you not see the job that I did with Toma? I believe you are discounting my own taxidermy skills.
You also know taxidermy? Perhaps we could work together.
But on an entirely separate animal that is not my pet. Thank you very much.
Yes,
but
it
maybe
would be
perhaps
a date. Perhaps. Never mind. And then Torvu awkwardly turns and walks away.
So at this point, Tex will kind of wave you all forward, like, I'm so very sorry, kind of apologizing. Schrodinger is still following, though, as Tex, she kind of leads you in a very small hallway. You can see like a little label on the door, lab. There's one of those GreenStar logos next to it. Opens up the door, and Devens and Snevitz, like you're almost tripping over Schrodinger, who continues to just follow the two of you, just like kind of curling up next to you. The door opens up, and you can see inside there is a lab. You can see it's kind of a retrofitted cryo chamber, like which you all would have been familiar with. You've probably been in cryo chambers before, but you can see that those things have been taken out. And instead, there's like this just a dazzling array of like instruments everywhere, all sorts of different stuff here and there. You can see tons of spare parts and stuff. Inside, you can see that there is a man that is kind of working and periodically like tapping into like the phone, or excuse me, like the intercom and such to sort of talk. Like you can see he's got this little short range communication. You can hear another voice on the other side as they exchange. But the guy, like as you come in, he kind of looks up, and he is got very coiffed hair. And you can see as he's sitting on this stool over top of this desk, kind of working, very poor posture. You can see this kind of like hump where you can tell this is a person who like sits at a desk a lot. But when you walk in, or at least you walk into the doorway, you hear another hiss from Schrodinger, and the guy just, and he drops the comm as it goes rattling around. And Tex, okay, well, this here is Lawrence. Lawrence is one of the scientists helping out Dr. Holloway. We're introducing to him in a minute. He's down the drive. Yeah, I said I'm sorry. And he kind of turns over towards Dr. Zinnia. You're not the only one that Schrodinger's got a little bit of a problem with. And you can tell that Lawrence is kind of like motioning to his arm. And there's like this huge like cat scratch down.
I do believe this is an issue of training, and any training would much improve this situation. Why has this training not happened?
Because it's a cat. Anyhow, so Lawrence and kind of goes through everyone's names, kind of introduces everyone, and then comes finally to Chili. Long, what does Chili look like as you get introduced to this man named Lawrence?
Chili's a shorter, stockier guy. He's got mid-length brown dreadlocks, a goatee. He's wearing a bathrobe that's only waist. It goes down to his waist. Checkered pajama pants. He cracks open a beer. Offers one to Lawrence. Working hard there. You want one?
No. I don't think. Now I have to concentrate. We're about to initiate the Trailblazer pretty soon. Are they going to be settled? Captain Tex, whatever your proper name is. He kind of looks over to Tex a little bit, and then Tex looks at you. She's like, yeah, you might want to just douse that pretty fast. We got some things to do. Got you to store your shit, and then we got to kind of go get the drive initiated. Whole kind of procedure here. Experimental drives just kind of don't go off on their own, you know. You all got the brief, right? Nah, never mind. Don't worry about it. Anyhow, let's see. What else can I show you? Well, I guess you better get back to it, Lawrence. And Lawrence is just like, yes. And you guys hear on his comms, there's a very like angry voice that's just kind of, Lawrence, where are you? Lawrence! Oh, God, you never cease to disappoint me. Just constantly screaming through the voice on the comm. So Lawrence quickly comes over. Yes, Dr. Holloway, I'm right here. One second. I'm so very sorry. So I was interrupted by the new crew. Tex is doing some sort of tour or something. I'm sorry. I don't care what's happening. And then they just kind of go back and forth for a bit, arguing. A lot of tension. And then like Tex kind of looks like, well, I guess let's just go ahead and kind of leave them to it. We'll meet up in a moment and kind of lead you guys back out into the galley. And so, Chili, I rolled for you that you and Zinnia are apparently planning to go into business with one another once you get enough scratch. What's the business going to be between the two of you? What do you guys have cooked up? What's the plan?
Dr. Zinnia, what do you think of the slogan? Get high while you fly.
Well, I do believe that it is very clever. It is quite clever. I do like it. Are you good with the botany?
A what now?
Well, what are we getting high on?
Oh, I don't know. Not us. No, it's for the customers.
Yes, I very clever, very clever. You are quite the marketing genius. And yes, and then she just sort of starts talking to Geraldine and Toma again. Yes, right? Is that a good idea? Yes, good idea. We get high. We get high. We get high. Yes. I will get back to you, Chili. This sounds yes indeed.
Chili, and as you're listening to Dr. Zinnia babble, you suddenly feel something bite you, and you look down, and you can see there is Schrodinger having just sunk their teeth into like your Achilles, like right in the back, just over top of your boots, just underneath the cuff of your, it just somehow slipped in, and just kind of looks up at you, kind of bares their teeth, and then darts away. Yeah.
And I'll try and chase it down.
Go ahead and roll a speed test. Oh, goodness.
Okay, I've got a 45. Not bad. My highest stat.
Ooh.
Nice.
You pass?
Let's see. 39.
Okay. You do manage to grab it. You do manage to, and like it's like scraping at you as
I'll
you do.
show you how it's like, and I'll try nibbling at its ankle too.
You start nibbling at the ankle, and like Tag's like, hey! I get what's good for the goose is good for the gander, but that is not a gander. That is a cat, and that is my dearest. That's my dearest Schrodinger. So reaches over, grabs, just tries to like take it. I'll take her. It's fine. She'll be fine. You don't have to go biting. Oh, what are you doing? You're just getting into a lot of trouble, aren't you? Oh, I know. Don't worry. They won't be here long. And then just kind of tucks Schrodinger under her shoulder, kind of carries along. The cat is definitely angry, but you can tell at a moment, like if the cat could do like point at its own eyes and point at yours, Chili, that's essentially what the cat just did. So he kind of goes through a couple more spaces. We see like a little montage, kind of shows you the bridge, computer rooms, etc. And eventually he kind of works you all around to your quarters. And so you kind of walk past, you can see there's some private quarters. He kind of points out, or she kind of points out, she kind of points out like, you know, these are, you know, private quarters here. You can see like one's got her name on it. I guess another one's got Dr. Holloway kind of stenciled in. But as like she's moving past, she kind of gives y'all a wink like, now don't y'all get any ideas. These are biometrically sealed. Y'all are in here with the rest of the folk. Lawrence is in here and such. It'll be fine. You get to know him really nice. Kind of nice fella. A little strange, but nice fella. And let you into kind of this communal living space, series of bunk beds and such. You can tell that in front of each bunk bed, there's basically 2 foot lockers here and there. So yeah, go ahead and make yourself comfortable, store your stuff. Meet us all down to the drive room in about, let's say 10, 15 minutes. And yeah, just get yourself comfortable, and then we'll kind of fill you in on the rest of it. That's all right. Any questions off the top of it right now?
Are these bunks assigned bunks? Do we look for a name, or we grab the first available?
Oh, no, grab whatever you want. You go ahead and pair up however you want to pair up. She goes to turn around. Oh, I totally forgot. I see some of you are carrying. I'm going to need to go ahead and take the ammunition, please. So anybody who has weapons, who has guns, basically you're going to, like, she's like, go ahead and hand this. Is a company policy. Go ahead and hand it over. You'll get it back. Don't worry. We're just going to take some of that ammunition just in case. You know what I'm saying? So just kind of hand that over now, please.
And Dr. Zinnia looks through her bags, and she has a rigging gun. So it's like the harpoon. And so she just sort of like, she's dropping all of her bags, and she's picking this up, and she's like, I'm sorry. You want me to disconnect this? It's not. And she's just sort of holding it
I hear what you're saying. Just stow it in one of your lockers. That'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay. Much appreciated. And then she looks down at all the bags that she's got to like pick back up again in size.
Yeah. Did you not read the contract? You're supposed to kind of pack light for this one, just a series of jumps, do it.
Well, this is light. This is quite light.
Is it? I see. Well, yes. Then, All right. So anyhow, weapons, guns. Let's go. Hand them over, please. It's in the contract. Let's go. Come on.
Snippets
No pay.
pulls out this shotgun that's like way bigger than me. And onto me to her waistband and pulls it out. And pulls out 4 shells and sort of like grumpily hands it over.
So she takes it all, and she kind of is like, you know what? She kind of puts one more in just in case. You never know when things go awry. And she'll put one shell back in and hand the gun back to you, but keep the rest. And that same process is done to anybody with a gun, anybody with ammunition. It doesn't take the weapons from you, it just takes the ammunition. And I'll trade you too. Y'all better want to take these. Oh, where the hell did I put them? Oh, geez. She's kind of going through her various cargo pant shorts, and she pulls out what looks like a handful of what are basically pedometers. Now, go ahead and just clip these to your belt. This is how you get paid. Every time we make a jump, this little tracker will tick, and for every jump you get, well, that's 10,000 credits right there. Now, don't go tampering with them. Do not go tampering. I'll tell you this: GreenStar is very litigious. And if they can track when tampering starts happening. You start fiddling with those things to try to increase your pay, they're going to know, and you're going to void your entire contract, and you're going to be liable, for all manner of this or that. I don't usually read that far down the contract. Basically, don't mess with them. All right, here you go.
So,
right on your.
Stevens
Jeff,
does a couple jumps.
Sorry, Stevens.
Oh no, they ain't. No, it's not. They don't track your steps. They track your jumps, like hyperspace jumps. This vessel is testing an experimental hyperspace travel system.
I didn't get the brief. I feel stupid now. Rue, why didn't you tell me?
I believe I read you the entire contract the other evening.
No, don't worry. Most of this stuff wasn't in the contract. You have to actually accept the contract before you get sort of the nitty-gritty details. I'm not really a scientist. You can ask Lawrence or Dr. Holloway. They may fill you in. But something along the lines of, we're just trying to kind of change the way in which companies establish hyperspace lanes rather than kind of sending road freighters out over and over to kind of deal something with entropy. I think I don't really know. I'm just a freighter captain. Anyhow, they got some fancy doohickey back there. It is the sweetest looking drive I've ever seen. I'll show you. Like I said, start your stuff. Come about 15 minutes. Go to the stern. Come on in the drive room. You'll see it. Fantastic. He plugs into it himself too. It is a contraption. I will tell you, it is a contraption. Anyhow, though, Stevens. It is not a physical jump that you make, but one that the ship makes, but your presence on the ship needs to be tracked. So you got to kind of put it on.
I get that now. I feel like that's got to be a rookie mistake. Like everyone does that, right? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes,
yeah.
Everyone jumps in place.
Yeah, no one's done that before, but this is the first time we've been doing. This is the first time we're testing the Trailblazer, so don't worry, it never happened before.
So the sooner we put all of our stuff away, the sooner that we can go and see the very cool drive, right? The sooner we put things away. Yes.
Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it. I like the attitude there. Go ahead and store your stuff.
Everybody.
Pick your bunk. And so she leaves you.
Jeff, one of the things that Snevitz has is an emergency beacon. Does the pedometer have any kind of like similarity in terms of like the form factor, like of an outward comms or anything like that? Like, is there anything that's familiar physically?
No, I mean, like the specific device to track jumps, like if any of you have worked on a roadwork freighter before, this isn't this is definitely not like out of the ordinary, like this whole like pedometer jumping thing. Sometimes it's like the ship that kind of tracks it, but like I guess GreenStar's just being a little bit more fancy with it. But no, it doesn't look like an emergency beacon. No, it just looks like it's just tracking something. Okay, I'll leave y'all get settled, pick your bunks, and stow your stuff, and then come on back to the drive when we're ready, and we'll get this show on the road. Very excited to see what happens, etc., etc. See y'all. And then she takes off. So out of curiosity, who bunks up with who? You got like these dual-layer bunk beds. Who's top bunk? Who's lower bunk? Anybody like take out a photograph and like stick it to the ceiling or stick it to the underside of the mattress of a bunk? Anyone do anything like that?
Rue and I, we're bunking together, right?
Yes, obviously.
Yeah, I take out a big old duffel bag, and if anyone's watching closely, there has been movement in it this whole time, and I unzip it, and just like 15 rats just come pouring out and just start spreading all over the bunk.
Okay. Okay.
Pretty sure there were only 10 when I put in there. They really breed like crazy.
Dr. Zinnia is slowly picking up all of the bags that she put down. So she's just sort of watching to see where Snevitz goes. Like she's just slowly picking everything up, to wait until Snevitz sort of picks a bunk to then see if she can
Snevitz gets the bunk that is closest to the door and that has that has no impediment on exit because that is her training. Also, she does definitely stick up this very emotional, like little 4-line poem that's obviously seen some, like it's like scratched on the back of a postcard, and she sticks that up, and she turns to you and says, Zinnia, would you guys were talking about get high when you fly. High is a great rhyming word. There's so many good rhymes for high. There's pie, there's lie, there's
Fry.
Pumpkin pie. Oh, I already said pie.
Oh, yes. And Zinnia throws out some like multisyllabic, like scientific word that ends in like I, and like yes, and that as well. And so Zinnia is then now forced to be on the top bunk, and she's really struggling because like she's later choice that she wants to share a bunk. She's like
Snivets like lifts Zinnia.
Oh, thank you. And she is short and round. So she's much appreciated. And Rue, you said 13 minutes. Yes, 13 minutes.
Yes. Now I believe we are down to 11 and a half.
Oh, what are all these fucking rats?
Okay. And so what Dr. Zinnia plans to do is like she's not making any attempt to like put anything away. She wants to take this little thing apart and see what she can assess from this little pedometer thing that we've been given. So she's got 11 minutes to try to take this apart and see what kind of computer things are going on.
So
inside.
you want to tamper with the pedometer thing that you were explicitly told not to tamper with. Okay. What skills do you have?
Not. I have hacking, computers, artificial intelligence. Like this is
Steven's dress is punk, but Zinnia is punk.
Okay. Well, I'll take a hack. You can use hacking, I think, on this. Roll a hacking test. This is going to be a disadvantage, though, as you're trying to do it very quickly, as you have like a 13-minute time limit. So we're going to say disadvantage because you're trying to do it before Tavra loses her shit and drags you away.
Okay. I have a sort of tools she can use if she needs them.
Oh, I also have a sort of tools. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay.
I do also have a sort of tools.
All right.
So I think so. My intellect is a 46, and then my hacking is a 15, which would put it at a 61.
61.
And then I think the tools would put it at 71. Is that how that works?
Tools, I can't remember what we did for tools. Our tools, they're basically wrenches, spanners. I would say they would probably give you more like advantage, and they'll cancel out the disadvantage. Perhaps,
okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So just roll straight.
Okay, so then
61
it's
or
61. Under. Okay. 53. I think that's the second time I've rolled 53. 53 under 71 this time.
So when you take a look at it, it is not very big. It is maybe 4 inches by 3 inches, maybe with about like an inch and a half, 2 inch depth. And it's made literally to just clip onto a utility belt or something like that. You can see it has the GreenStar logo on one side. You start, and it's got like a little display, digital display. And right now it just says 0 because you guys haven't done any jumps. And as you mess with it, you eventually kind of hack into it. And you can see that it is very much what it says. You kind of open up the back with some of your tools, and you start digging into like the little circuitry of it a bit. And you can see that as you do so, the display changes, and it just says error. Error. That's it. That's all it says. But I'll tell you this, that Zinnia, you look on the inside and it really very much just seems, there doesn't seem to be anything about it that would probably alarm you. There doesn't seem to be anything sort of incendiary or anything like that within. It's not going to suddenly explode. But it does have something not too it is very much like an odometer. Like if you were kind of breaking down the bridge and looking at like your navigational logs, it has not dissimilar sort of layout or circuitry of it, but far more rudimentary, simpler. And so I would say right now yours just displays error. But you're able to hack into it, and nothing in it suggests that it's going to kill you or anything like that.
Okay, and it doesn't look like it's tracking some other thing. Like it's not like also like a Geiger counter or some other thing that's like gonna like looking.
It
for
very
some
much
other...
just seems to be navigational signals that it's essentially tracking. So like hyperspace travel. So the same types of things that you would find in your navigational logs, just a little bit more rudimentary, like because it's smaller.
And I quickly put it back together.
Okay.
And go running down the hall. This is broken. This is you have given me faulty equipment. Faulty equipment, I tell you.
So you run down the hall and there ain't anybody there because that took a few minutes and Tex has already ran off. So you're just kind of calling that out, and you see at the end of the hallway as you get towards sort of back towards where there's a elevator that kind of goes back down to the level 1, or you can kind of follow the hallway back to the drive. And then there's this hall that leads to the galley. And you can see in the flickering hallway light, because the light kind of comes on and off as like motion comes into it, you can see the glowing eyes of the Siamese cat Schrodinger staring at you. And as you step in and the lights flicker on, the glow of the eyes dissipates and you just see the body now. And as the lights come on and you're just saying faulty equipment, it just goes and just darts away back into the galley.
And Dr. Zinnia very much, because this cat attacked her pet rat, is very much just going to, very childlike and immature, is going to be the same thing back. She's just going to like,
okay,
and then looks around and no one was there. And
okay, did anybody else have anything they were trying to do in the 10 to 15 minutes that you had before you were asked to meet in the drive room?
Stick a couple cigs under my bed.
Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Rue puts her stuff in her locker safely so that it won't go around anywhere. And then she just leaves to go straight there early.
Sounds good. Stevens or Snevitz?
Just letting the rats out. Letting them get some exercise.
You're leaving them roaming free inside.
Yeah, I also set out a little, like, small ceramic bowl of, like, pellets of, like, a very special type of food for them, and I just leave it on the bunk.
Okay. Got it. And what about chili? Anything?
I was just throwing away a couple cigs, waiting for the crew to get ready.
Okay. Sounds good.
You gotta try that beer, bro.
So that's probably not hard, I would imagine, for chili. So do all of you then, do you all kind of meet back where you're asked to meet, or does anybody go and do something different?
No, I would never derail this early in a game, Jeff.
Just ask Chuck one day about the taco stand. We'll talk about the glorious taco stand. All right, so we'll say all of you then eventually make your way. Tex kind of calls everybody. You go to the stern of the ship. On the level that you're on, the same level as the quarters. You can see that the big sort of engine column, there is specifically a drive room. You can see it is labeled. You go inside, and there's, I would say, Tex, when she was describing the drive as being like a pretty impressive but kind of strange looking thing. That's certainly the impression you get. Is when you walk in, you can see that it's not unlike a standard jump drive. However, it is much bigger. It's also golden, and it's very, very intricate. So you can see like there is all manner of this intricate circuitry and machinery and engineering. All of it seems to be behind, as you would imagine, some sort of like glass radiation shield, of which there is only like a small enclosed hatch on one side that is currently closed. There are a series of consoles and such around. You can see Tex is standing nearby. You can see Lawrence, who you met, is standing nearby. And you can also see that there is a third person. So the third member of the team, probably the voice that you heard on the communication. When you look at him, he's got on a hazard suit. So you can't really see his body. It's like this kind of yellow tinged color. But you can see he hasn't quite put the head on just yet. The helmet on, I should say. Older, salt and pepper kind of hair, very strong jawline, has kind of like a Mad Men kind of attractiveness to him. But he doesn't even, as you all kind of walk in, Tex is like, oh, and Dr. Holloway, if I can introduce you to the crew that's signed up to give us a hand. And he kind of just turns over to you. Yes, thank you. And then turns right back. And that is like the extent of the attention that he kind of gives all of you, as he and Lawrence are kind of going over a few things. So is anybody looking or doing anything at this point?
I'd want to take a good look at mechanics as best I can.
Okay. So you can, if you would like, roll whatever you have for like engineering, like whatever skill that you think would apply is totally fine. What about you, Chili? Were you saying something?
I'm just going to offer Lawrence a beer again. Still want that beer.
Step up, and the two of them are kind of talking. They're kind of fidgeting a little bit with some sort of like the helmet device that it looks like he's kind of like that's supposed to go on top of the hazard. And you come up and he tries to offer him the beer. No, thank you. And then Dr. Holloway looks at you, and you can see that there's this face filled with anger and frustration, and just like, sir, I have full authority to cancel your contract. Please do not put your condensation-riddled beer near this bespoke, one-of-a-kind prototype device that is going to control the Trailblazer drive. What is wrong with you?
I'll get rid of it right away, and I'll just chug it.
So you're just sitting there, chugging it, and at the very end, Dr. Holloway's like, he kind of just shakes his head.
And Dr.
slides
Zinnia
the helmet a little bit further away.
Is just going to kind of, speaking of bespoke technology that is supposed to work, and she's just like shaking her pedometer like in his face and just saying like, this does not, ever, what is this?
Dr. Holloway looks at you up and down. Do I look like someone who cares about a pedometer? We are about to change the way that hyperspace travel works, and you're showing me this device. Tex, could you please get this unpublished, lesser-known, simplified community college academic out of my face?
Well, I have never, if you are going to collect
Yes,
data, all of
you
your data
have never.
collection.
I have looked up your name, Dr. Zinnia. I haven't seen a single published paper in over 15 years. How do you explain the publication gap? Oh, off adventuring with your beer-chugging friends over here.
2 words for you, Doctor. Top secret. And she'll just like spin on her heel and walk towards the other one.
He just shakes his head. You cannot. Tex, seriously, this is the best you are able to come up with. I'm sorry, Doc. That's just how it is. And don't worry, I'm sure they'll be fine. Once everything gets going, it's all going to be a hop, skip, and a jump, isn't it? Yes, a hop, skip, and a jump. Of course. Yes, that's simple. Yes, absolutely. You can see Lawrence is like very concerned, and every time like someone kind of approaches and sort of pisses off like Dr. Holloway, like you can see Lawrence just like looking like they're getting ready to interrupt and then kind of feeling really bad, like trying to like slide in and defend, but like Holloway just sort of goes over and talks over top of him. Stevens, how'd you do on that roll?
77 over 55.
Okay.
So I don't think that's good.
So first of all,
no.
so again, in Mothership, a couple things. I should have mentioned this before, but when you fail a roll, you take a stress. So obviously you should take a stress. Dr. Zinnia, I think you failed a roll before too. Is that correct?
And didn't I have to take a stress because of something that...
Yeah.
Because
so you
you're...
should be at 4.
Yeah, so you take a stress, and then you have to make a panic roll, I think, whenever you critically fail a check. So, so go ahead and make that panic roll, Stevens. If you're in the game, if you're in our Foundry, just click on the stress word on your character sheet. It's not really going to matter.
Once per session, I may take advantage on a panic check, so I will do that. That is my
Do you
trauma
really
response.
want to do that when you have only one in stress? So mechanically, the way it works is you roll a d20.
Per session. So I'm banking on not doing another panic roll this session.
Is that what you're banking on? Is that really what you're banking on?
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
Watch me fail anyways. Success.
You actually rolled a 1.
I almost said almost fail.
It would have counted. This is actually a fairly good use. All right, you're fine. I would say as you take a look at this engine, it certainly looks, this drive definitely looks like other drives on other ships that you've worked on. But something about it is different. And you just see this like strange little glimmer or flicker. Something about the something about the circuitry just doesn't make sense in your mind. You start trying to do the math and like, how does this work and how does that work? And it just kind of becomes very overwhelming as you're staring through the radiation glass, like that the glass shielding there, at this thing. And like you kind of get this little bit of a cold sweat starts to hit as you just can't comprehend the complexity of this machine. You take a couple deep breaths and you do regain your composure.
What the hell is going on here? I start walking over to Chili. You got a brew?
I never thought you asked.
I take one and I just start chugging next to him.
And so Lawrence will join the two of you and hand Chili over his empty beer can. I'm sorry, you left this on the console. And just kind of hands
take care of that.
No. And then turns to Stevens and says, well, what is happening here is that you see the Trailblazer. What's going to happen? It's going to create a trans-dimensional superposition, a bubble where various dimensions coexist at the same time, and then we're going to be able to connect to those dimensions using Dr. Holloway's brain. We have created that device which attaches to his head, uses his various sensory organs as the eyes and ears of the engines, tapping into the drive itself, allowing us to essentially blaze a trail at a far greater speed than we normally would. It's actually quite brilliant. Those of us within the Apian Way, well, it's just a simple jump 3 to to the Hope system. Should experience some periods of perceived time, but overall it should be quite simple. That's exactly what's happening. And he kind of starts rambling off a series of math and equations and things like that. Stevens, you feel like the anxiety that you just managed to swallow starting to come back to the surface.
I'm just chugging that whole time he's talking until the can is empty, and then I set it down on the console.
And at this point, you can see Dr. Holloway has affixed that helmet, special helmet, to his head, and kind of says to everybody, well, now I believe is the time. I believe we're all ready to document history, Lawrence, if you please. And so Lawrence kind of comes over, does like a final check, kind of hands like lingering here and there a little bit longer than they should. And then you watch as Dr. Holloway kind of goes up to that hatch And you can see just kind of standing there. It kind of obscures your vision ever so slightly, but the hatch does open, and he kind of climbs inside of the drive area. Now, all of you would know that time within that drive area, it emits a very dangerous, even a normal jump drive. You don't want to be near it. He does like this little pass around the drive itself. You look like, I would say, Steven's Chili, you probably see this, like there's some sort of terminal in the back that he's kind of taking some basic readings from. Then he kind of gives a thumbs up towards Lawrence, who smiles and gives a thumbs up back. And then you can see he picks up from the ground this extremely long coil, this like this sort of like golden tether, and he affixes it to the helmet device. And then kind of just takes a seat in this little position right in front of the drive. Then as that's there, and again, all of you are in this sort of same spot. You can feel Stevens and Snevitz, the sudden kind of rubbing of a cat against your legs as you kind of look down. And when you look back up, all of you feel like this shudder, ever so slight shudder that just cascades through the entire ship. Something that's not uncommon when a jump drive initiates. And this one is sort of a little bit longer than normal. You hear a strange sound that kind of emits and echoes throughout the entirety of the room. And then suddenly you look around, and anyone who's sort of near the back of the room, you look out, like there's a small little viewing porthole outside of the ship. All the stars are gone. So I'm going to say Tavru, because you haven't really said where you were. So we'll say Tavru, you were looking out the back, and where there were once where there's like stars in the distance and lights and stuff, it's just this pure kind of like voidless area. And those of you watching the interior of where the drive is, where Dr. Holloway had set down, you watch as materializing like right next to him, like literally standing in that same radiation shielded section, out of nothing, is another figure, another person that looks surprisingly similar to Dr. Holloway. It's this nearly identical physical features on the face, that same kind of salt and pepper hair, a little bit grungy. You can see some sort of grease smear on it here and there. It's got this stained mechanic jumpsuit. You see the familiar kind of GreenStar logo that you've seen probably many times now, kind of moving about the station. And you watch as like the look on Dr. Holloway's face sitting there on the chair is sort of in shock as he kind of turns up, and the figure, you notice that there's a small little patch that says Bill, like as a name tag. You watch this, an arm raises, wielding a laser pistol. The gun goes off. You all watch as the head of Dr. Holloway just atomizes as this laser pistol goes right through it. And just like that, you look around as the entirety of the room just begins to disappear. And within half, 2 heartbeats maybe, all around you, the consoles, techs, Lawrence, Dr. Holloway's body, the jump drive, all of it is gone. Everyone go ahead and take 1 stress. Everything fades. And when you look around, it's just pure black void. The only thing you can see right now are each other. You can see the man who shot Dr. Holloway is a little bit a ways from you because there was some distance, but he is standing there as well. And Stevens, you can feel the cat Schrodinger like on your leg, and you kind of just feel that little purr. When the man with the sort of laser pistol in hand kind of looks up at you, he sees all of you, raises an eyebrow, and just like that, the black void fades, and you start to see substance around you again. Your heads kind of swirl a bit. Your memory feels a little foggy, like you for a moment when you look at each other, you're like, where did I meet you again for a second? And then it kind of all starts coming back. And you can see the consoles begin to reemerge. You don't see Tex. You don't see Lawrence. You don't see the body of Dr. Holloway. You don't see the man that had suddenly materialized within the drive. You do still see Schrodinger, the cat, down there. I need everyone to make a sanity save.
Oh, goodness.
And if you have anything
This is a
sciencey,
D100 too, right?
this is also a D100. If you have any skills that might apply to this, you can also add a skill to it. I would say anything that might be like advanced science or something like that. Some sort of advanced science could probably apply. Yeah, I'll take a physics.
Fail.
Succeeded.
Fail.
Okay.
I failed.
Those.
Yeah.
Okay. So Stevens, you succeeded. Is that what I heard?
I failed.
Okay. Who succeeded?
I did.
Dr. Zinni is the only one? Okay. As you all are looking around, and the room is coming back into shape, you can feel the footing once more, where a moment ago there was just black void beneath you, and you can look down, there's the familiar metal plates of the floor, etc. The consoles look very similar. The jump drive room is empty. You see the golden tether kind of extending out from a small hole in the hatch through the doorway deeper into the ship. As you're looking at each other, you all see your arms, like, or a leg or one of your extremities just start to kind of fluctuate in and out of existence. Like they become almost translucent. Like, Chili, you hold your hand up that you was holding the beer can, and the beer can just drops as you feel your hand just phase through it. Those of you who failed, you can make a choice. You either lose 2 skills of your choice, or one of your limbs becomes translucent and intangible.
Wow.
I lose my left arm.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Tavru.
so do I.
Tavru, you were like you were in the back near the wall. You look out through the porthole. It's again that kind of black void. You don't see any sort of stars or anything. Your hand, as you kind of push it against it, you almost feel your hand go through it. Eventually it comes to a stop as it kind of reached maybe the above part of your elbow by your bicep, and that's where like it kind of, you can feel matter on matter. But then you kind of pull the hand back as your left arm is translucent and intangible. Snevitz, you said an arm as well.
I actually just changed my mind. If that's okay, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna get rid of 2 skills.
Okay. All right. Keep track of everything. There's nowhere on the sheet obviously to do it. So just keep track of what you're doing. If you're losing skills, which arm, that which limb, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Stevens falls over as his right leg becomes intangible.
Like just goes through the floor, and you stumble until above your knee, the physical portion of your thigh and up comes in contact with the floor as you stumble to the ground. Chili, what did you decide?
I'll lose my theology in industrial equipment.
Okay.
Theology?
Yeah, I'm losing prelims in archaeology.
Oh,
So
and Dr. Zinni is just going to look around. What is going on?
I feel dumber.
I don't understand. Did you see
something's wrong? Something's wrong.
He was shot in the head. In the head.
Stevens! And just sees him fall over.
Yeah, Rue went to catch Stevens with her left arm, but her left arm's intangible.
What? So now Snevitz is kneeling beside Stevens and looking sort of between the two of them, like, what happened to your leg? What happened to your arm, man?
What the? And I can like still see the leg, right? But it's translucent, you said?
Yes, it's just translucent. You can see the shape of it, but it's certainly something you can see through as well.
I'm
Can
like
it bear
trying to
any
grab
weight?
it with both of my
Like-
hands, and they're just going through repeatedly.
I would like to
I-
stick my hand through Steven's chest cavity. Does that do anything?
Why me? Choose someone else.
Like your gut.
Your
It's the
besties,
intrusive
that's
thought one.
why.
I'm going to say, as you do this, as you take your arm and shove it through another one, everybody observing this, including Stevens, go ahead and take a point of stress as you watch as Tavru effectively Temples of Dooms Steven by kind of pushing her arm into his chest. But then when you pull it out, there's nothing in it. Like you weren't able to kind of grab hold of anything. You don't really feel anything, any sensations. You can still kind of see the fingers, the hand, the wrist, the forearm, but you can't actually feel anything like when it comes in contact
That's
with
so curious. Did you feel that, Stevens?
No, I'm a little busy right now. I have no leg.
I have no arm, and it just, I mean, I can kind of see it, and I was able to pierce your stomach chest cavity, and I
Gru, this is not fun. This is not fun.
but I'm learning so much. Do you, this is so interesting.
What have you learned? You've learned nothing. You've learned you have no arm.
I've
What is that
learned that I can't kill you with it, so that's wonderful.
Great. Just great.
Dr. Zinnia is going to go over to Snevitz, and they did not replace my defective little thing. Did yours go up? Do you have a if you
Hold
don't
on,
mind, may I?
So anyone who still has an intact one, it actually okay, so it actually shows not just like a track. It doesn't show that it's actually tracked once, but it seems like it's like miscounting. So it does seem like it tracked like additional jumps instead of just the one. So it looks like it's got like a 2.5 or something. The number doesn't add up. And all of you with a non-malfunctioning one that Dr. Zinnia has, all of them say the same. Like you're all matching. Zinnia, yours still says error.
What?
That that's so. Oh, I'm not going to get paid for this, am I? Oh no, what? And so she gives you back yours, and then she wants to go over. I understand for all of the rest of you, this must be quite distressing about your limbs, but he was shot in the head. And so she's going to walk over to kind of the area where she saw Dr. Holloway and Bill, and that's what she wants to look at.
I'm curious if he was actually shot in his head or if it was a projection of the overwhelming power that was coursing through his brain.
Oh, you mean
Gru, you have no arm.
The ego. Yes, the ego was quite large on that one.
Dr. Zinnia, when you look inside, again, it looks just like you saw it before. It's just, it's the same. It looks identical to what you saw before. There's that same sort of seating area. There's the tether. There's the hatch. You can see that there is like a hole in the hatch. It seems to definitely be airtight, through which that golden like tether, that cable has extended out and is connected to the drive. You also see it snaking out and through the entrance into the drive room out into the rest of the ship. You don't see a body on the ground. You don't see any blood. You don't see signs of Dr. Holloway or the other man in the mechanic suit that looked just like him and had the name Bill stitched onto his jumper. You don't see Tex. You do. The only person or creature that you saw was the cat, which is like clinging to you, Stevens. Like you can just feel on your good leg. The cat seems to have the Schrodinger seems to be a little bit nervous.
I am over it. I'm swatting him away.
Okay, you swat him away. So then the Schrodinger kind of like hops, rolls, leaps, and is now on Snevitz, and it's just sort of like rubbing next to Snevitz, making sure that there's still close physical contact.
Snevitz kind of absently scritches its head, not really paying attention.
You can kind of feel.
This is how I know we're not
absentmindedly
twins.
The tension, yeah, like there's crazy tension in the back of the cat, on the cat's neck.
Come on, Stevens, can you stand?
I try to stand. I try to like put weight on the leg that doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't work. So I just like, holding on to Chili. I just am wobbling on one leg now.
I would
Can I field medic the shit out of this and just kind of build some kind of makeshift stump for him?
Yeah,
to
is
use?
there like a chair leg we can rip off and then like
Yeah.
duct tape to his stump?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
going to say I'd like to use jury rigging for it.
Yeah, I would say
Perfect.
Stevens, go ahead and roll jury rigging. Take advantage from Snevitz and Tavru. As you all break down, there is a chair. It's like a swing chair that's bolted and attached to the console in the drive room. Not in the. You guys can't. And when you try to, you can't get into the drive area behind the radiation shielding. That hatch seems locked. It will not let anyone in. But there is one on one of the exterior consoles, and so you can kind of detach that and spend some time trying to make a makeshift stump. Yeah.
20 under 55.
Okay. It's probably not something you want to have to wear for a long period of time, as it probably would cause some pain, but it definitely works, and you're not tipping over any further.
Well,
Are we all ambulatory now? Can we please try to follow this down the hall? Yes.
yes. Do be careful. There could be another gentleman with another pistol, and we do not want our heads disintegrated.
Everybody get behind me. And she pulls out her shotgun with one shell.
Do you believe that they have possibly dealt with this once before, and that is why they have confiscated our bullets?
They said this was the first testing. They've never done this before.
That they've told us, but who knows if this is truly the
They
first?
mentioned
Where
previous
would they
crews.
have even kept the ammo? Because I could use the rest of mine.
I do believe it was in, Tex's room. The attractive woman.
Let's head to her room then.
Rue, give
Okay.
me a hand as I... Oh, shit. Chili, give me a hand as I walk.
I got you, buddy.
Okay.
Simmons has that platoon voice on, and has kind of told her where to get behind her and single file behind her and that kind of thing. If you can see over my shoulder, you're not behind me enough.
Are you taking the most direct path there? Is that just all of you together?
Yeah, unless someone has a better / smarter idea. That's what she's gonna do.
We're just
Okay.
gonna follow the golden thing.
Okay, well, you follow that tether out. The tether does not go to. You see, it does not actually go to Tex's room. At a certain point, you do see it kind of disappears down one of the lifts. But it's not that far away.
Presumably, quarters are all sort of in one part of their ship, and
They are.
we were
You guys have
just
access to the
there.
map, just so you know.
Oh.
You guys
Yeah,
do
yeah.
have access
Right.
to the map.
So are we going to Tex's room to get our guns?
Well,
The
that's
ammo?
she does what Snevitz wants.
Or
Snevitz
you're
wants
leading,
to get
so
her
okay.
ammo.
Okay.
Yes, I
So-
suppose I can see the wisdom in that. It was quite traumatic seeing his head blown like that. So yes, I suppose. Weapons it is.
All right. You head out. You follow the tether for a little bit, but you do see, like I was saying, it disappears down one of the lifts. You move past that. You go towards the living quarters, and there's basically the private quarters where Dr. Holloway and Tex both had their own private chambers, and then you can see there's the living quarters, which were the communal bunks where you all put your stuff.
Sorry, Jeff. So we just left 1, and we're going to 6.
No, you were
We
in the
left
drive room.
11.
11. Thank you.
You're in the drive room, and you're going to
Thank
you're going to 6 exactly. So when you head to when you kind of get close to those private quarters, again everything looks basically how you left it. Like you can hear the ship sounds, the way the ship sort of sounds. You're not sure if you're moving or not, though. You can't tell if the standard engine drives are running or not. It's kind of got this odd ambiance to it. But when you get over to the living quarters, you can see that the officer rooms are the same. one of them has Tex's name. One of them has Dr. Holloway's name stenciled in. Same sort of GreenStar Logistics logos and stuff. But both of them are biometrically sealed. So what that means is that you wouldn't be able to get in unless you actually have them. Or some portion of them.
Or hacking, perhaps?
You can certainly try to hack.
Trying to look at what else I have. It's biometric, like handprint.
Yeah. So basically, it's something. Like, whether it's a handprint or whether it's eyes, whatever it might be, like you're to get inside. You can roll a hack. We'll do. We're gonna leave it at disadvantage though, as you're doing. Unless you actually have a sample of one of them, this is going to be at disadvantage, and the tools aren't going to cancel that out.
Anyway, we could hack into the thing where the body is for Dr. Holloway.
Where there isn't
Or,
anything
like,
left.
lockpick.
You guys are out of that
just
room.
dissipated.
That's going to be going back. So let's handle what we're dealing with right now. And then if you want to go back and do that later, we can do that. But let's focus on, you guys moved up to the quarters. So let's deal with this now.
So I'm going to take an audience to bump it to 56 plus 15. And then it'll be at a disadvantage. So
while Zinnia is doing that, Snevitz is kind of looking at the gun in her hand like something doesn't feel right. Like something and this doesn't feel like an extension of me like it normally does. And just that loss of firearm skill is just like just now starting to occur to her.
That's a fail, 83 over 71.
Yeah, you're able to kind of get into the system a bit, but it does seem that unless you can somehow kind of spoof it to make it think that whatever kind of sample you're putting in is actually mimicking, you're not able quite to do it. Like if you were to perhaps kind of get like either fingerprints, or if you were able to get, even maybe some like DNA type of thing, you might be able to have a better time at doing it. But just like without any specific sample from Tex, it's just a little bit harder for you to figure out right now.
Well, this is just not going to work right now. If you wouldn't mind pausing for one quick second, I do want to see how Geraldine is doing. I do hope Geraldine is still here.
What about those beer cans? Isn't there DNA and spit?
You want my spit?
No,
Not yours,
not
Jilly,
your
yours
spit.
But
didn't you share beer with other people?
Not with Tex.
Just me and Stevens.
Not with Tex. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you want one?
Just to go for another one.
Actually, yes.
He's got a rucksack. It's just nothing but six packs inside.
just a bunch of Coors Light.
Most useful object.
You know, like those chest things where it's just ammo instead of ammo, it's just beer cans.
just a bandolier that's just
Yeah.
got all like your cans down.
Dr. Zinnia, you said you wanted to go and check on Geraldine. You're going into the bunk. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Okay. Looks, you got the bunks are laid out exactly as they were laid out when you were last here. However, you don't see any of your bags.
Well, are there all of the rats that Stevens let out when we got in here?
You don't see any rats in here either.
Stevens, it is not. Geraldine is not here, and Toma is not here, and your rats are not here, and our bags are not here.
Yeah, I don't know what's here. Well,
I just told you what's not here. Now you know.
I don't know what's going on either.
Well, whatever it is quite. And like, Dr. Zinni is far more concerned about Geraldine and Toma going missing than she is about everyone else like losing limbs and things like that.
They're rats. They scurry away. I'm sure they're fine. And I look towards like the bowl of food I left out or whatever. Would anything
Not
be
there.
gone?
No, the bowl's not even here.
I'm sure that they find. They took the bowl somewhere. Rats, they nest.
And Dr. Zinni is just like losing words at just how obtuse Steven seems to be being with this, and just
I lost
off.
my leg. I'm a little preoccupied right now. And I just keep looking down at this chair leg that's like surrounded by my translucent leg. And occasionally I just move my hand through it and like knock on the chair leg.
Tavru, we'll say you were in the back again, as I didn't hear you go in. You see the hall that kind of connects to the galley. Mm-hmm. The lights flicker again, as if there's, like they're kind of starting to come on. You look down the hallway, and you can see there's these two little glowing beady eyes in the darkness staring up at you. Then the hallway flickers on, and you can see there's Schrodinger looking up, and then goes bounding back the way it came towards the galley. But then when you look over towards Snevitz, who's a couple steps forward, kind of in the doorway of the barracks, you can see Schrodinger is still right up against the leg of Snevitz, like keeping close physical contact, paying you no mind.
Okay. And Tovru is going to reach into her pocket, and she's going to pull out this lipstick that she's brought along. She's got this very bright red lipstick, and she's going to go up to everyone and take like their arm or their hand or something, and she's going to put a mark on everyone, including Schrodinger. So somewhere on their back or something, she'll just quickly swipe the lipstick on. So not to alarm you all, but I did see a duplicate of Schrodinger. So just as we saw Dr. Holloway have an alternate version of himself, I do believe in the debrief they did mention that we'd be entering alternate realities. So maybe the convergence effects is having some negative effects. So I have marked you all. If you see yourself, kill them or run. Shall we continue?
There's another of me. Maybe we can share a beer.
I didn't see them, but just be wary.
And Dr. Zinnia will just sort of like make kind of that like hissing sound when you mention that there's like another, like, of all the things to survive, that blessed cat is one. Okay. Back to following the golden thread cord. Yes?
So, yes, also I agree. Should we have a code word?
Like what?
For
what do you
what?
suggest?
If you run into someone, say we're separated, and you come across and you can't verify, or if they also for some reason have lipstick now as well, then we should also have a code word.
Why don't we just not get separated?
Zinnia and Chili had this great phrase earlier. Get high while you fly.
Oh,
So
okay.
it should be like a call and response. So
Yes,
like
so
I say
what's the
get
question?
high, you say
Like a password.
While you fly. Okay.
yes.
Understood.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
But if there are copies of us, won't they know the phrase? You two have been planning this business for how long now?
We didn't decide on that being the password until true.
Okay,
Chili,
well,
I
while
need
you
you to
all
come up with a
decide, I'm
new
gonna try
phrase.
and just brute force the door and see if that does anything.
You're gonna brute force the door to like get into the court, the biometrically sealed quarters.
Yeah.
Like just like putting your shoulder into it, or do you have like some sort
Well,
of
is it
cutting
a
device to
sliding
get
door
in?
or is it like a hinged door?
It is like a what are those things called on ships? It's like kind of pocketed, hermetic, like not hermetically sealed, biometrically
Airlock.
sealed. It's not like an exterior airlock door, but it's not just like a turn the handle, open it up type of deal.
Sure.
It's a spaceship
Got it.
door.
It's the type of thing where
Bulkhead,
unless you
that's what Chad
have, thank you, bulkhead. That was what I was thinking of. Unless you have like a specific like mechanical device or like a really good plan, Just blowing his shoulder, I don't think is going to work. However, as you go up to it, Snevitz, you stumble and you look down and you can see your leg has started to turn translucent. Your brain gets really foggy again. The rest of you see whatever you're holding. Tavr, you hear the lipstick clatter on the ground as you look at your hand begins to go translucent. Chili, one of your beers falls and foams on the ground as your arm starts to go translucent as well. Everyone roll a sanity test.
So
39 over 27.
85 over 57.
Yeah,
Remember,
84
How do
over
you have 57
18.
sanity.
57
scientists
sanity,
usually have
that's
pretty high.
wild.
I failed.
Which, by the way, whenever I fail a sanity save, all close friendly players gain a stress. So sorry, everybody.
Okay. Anybody who failed, again, same choice. One of your limbs can go translucent and begin to phase, or you can lose 2 skills of your choice, as your brains are very foggy.
No, that's my good drinking arm.
I'm
falls to the
gonna
floor
lose
again.
my left arm.
Stevens, did you take both legs out?
Going to the floor again.
Stevens falls.
Oh,
Both
no.
of his translucent legs go through to the level below. Oh, goodness.
What is going on?
I'm going to lose Rimwise and Chemistry.
Okay. Those aren't important. Sure. Okay.
I mean, so are arms and legs.
Absolutely. I hear you. So,
I believe we need to hurry. Let's go.
as you
What?
roll over to
Hurry.
say that, as some of you are rolling around the ground and some of you are holding whatever hands you have up to your head, you all feel the ship shudder as an explosion from kind of down the hall. I gotta get a better explosion sound. That explosion sound sucks. Like you hear it in the distance, a couple rooms away. You feel everything shudder, and like the ship itself almost like shakes for a bit. Then you can hear the klaxons start kind of going as these red lights start as these various emergency lights start popping up. A couple shouts cascade down the hall from like where the galley is and where the bridge is and all that kind of stuff. You can hear the sound of what you think might be Lawrence as he's kind of shouting out. What would you like to do?
There are other people. Hello, hello, hello. And Dr. Zinnia is going to go running towards
I
the
think
shouting
we have.
voices.
Oh gosh, I think we've already determined that is not where we should be going.
Can someone carry me?
I'll pick Stevens up.
Yeah, I'm
Chili,
gonna help.
pick up
I'll hold the beers.
scraping underneath.
Well, Chili gets me.
Nimitz helps Chewy.
Dr. Zinnia, what were you doing?
Running toward the shouting voices because we can't break into
Okay.
this door. So let's find people.
You run in the direction of the voices. You see that you go through the galley as you've seen before, and there on top of one of the countertops, you can see Schrodinger staring at you with kind of a very wary, angry looking face. You look down the hallway towards the bridge, and you can see the back of Lawrence with his coiffed hair, who is standing in front of the bridge. He's kind of banging on it. He's like, Tex, Captain, are you okay? Hello? And he's just kind of like banging on the door a bit.
Lawrence.
And he kind of turns around. Who are you? Who are you? Tex! And he starts banging on the door really loud.
We were. You do not recall meeting us.
No, Tex, there are intruders! Intruder alert! He starts shouting at the top of his his lungs.
Please calm down. We're trying to figure out what exactly has gone on here. We joined the crew very recently, and then when the drive was enabled, and all things happened. And please do calm down. We'd very much like to figure this out.
Okay, where is everybody else in this situation?
Wherever Chili is.
Okay.
Hover would like to continue following the like line thing.
Okay.
Probably be in the back
Tavern.
here.
Okay, Tavri, you go. So you're following that golden tether
Down.
thingy. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get on the lift and go down. Chili, Snevitz, and Stevens, the triumvirate, apparently is all one person now. Where are you guys heading?
Well, if I see that Chili has Stevens, I'm gonna go after Zinnia. I'm pretty not okay with someone being by themselves.
Okay. So Snevitz and Tavro, you go ahead. The two of you climb onto the lift and you start going down to the first level. Chili, Stevens,
I thought
where do you go?
Tavro was
Snevis
going
is
in the
going-
opposite direction.
Yeah, Snevitz
Yeah.
and Zinnia are together. Stevens and Rue and Chili are together.
Oh, my bad. I got it backwards. Okay. All right. So then three of you are going down the elevator, firing the tether. Snevitz and Zinnia, you're like kind of in the hallway of the galley, or excuse me, right between the galley in the bridge. You hear like a very loud thumping. The two of you coming from your right, like where the med bay is. You just hear thump, thump. Kind of echoing, and at the end of the hall, who are you? And who are you? And who are you? And he kind of points at Snevitz now as Lawrence looks very afraid. Intruders! Tex! Please! Tex! Intruders! I don't have any money. Are you pirates? Pirates? I don't like pirates. You don't look like pirates.
Lawrence!
Pirates?
Lawrence!
How do you know my name?
Lawrence. Wait,
How do you know my name?
because something is messing with all of us, but we all know each
Corporate-
other. We know
Corporate
each other.
espionage?
We
You know
work
my-
together. No, we work together. We know
We're on a
each
crew
other.
together. Yes, we're on a crew together. We just joined. And then we were about to do the experiment, and then things happened.
And she pulled
then
out the pedometer with the GreenStar. I was like, look, we wouldn't have this if we didn't work together with you. Something is messing with our memories. We are here to help you, and we need you to help us.
Okay. Yes. You say you were on the ship.
Look,
experiments.
this should not say 2.5. This should say 1. But something happened with the jump. And she'll toss him the pedometer. She doesn't like take a step closer.
He goes to catch it and he misses and it hits him right in the face and and he picks it up off the ground. This can't be right.
Do you not also have one?
Well, no, I'm on salary. No, I don't have one. I'm Dr.
Oh.
Holloway and I are we're running this very. Where is? Have you seen Dr. Tex? We should check the navigational logs. Did you not hear that? I heard an explosion from the bridge.
An excellent. How do we get in the bridge? Or is there another way?
The computer's room. Yes, there's the next. Oh, yeah, that's very smart. And he's like, and so you guys move down the hallway. You kind of go through this computer's room. You can see like these blinking kind of retro future type lights of various computers here and there. And you do find there is a secondary entrance onto the bridge. And when the three of you enter, you can tell that definitely something exploded in here. And you can see that there is damage to all of the consoles and systems. You can see that there is blood and viscera everywhere. Oh no. Oh goodness. Oh whoa. And I want to actually both of you just go ahead and take a point of stress. No roll necessary.
Oh my gosh. Like 7 stress.
I just shrugged for those of you just listening.
Do we see a body or anything in here?
You see parts of a body, and you do see what looks like a that mesh hat that Tex was wearing. Oh no!
Oh dear. Oh, what? Much condolences for your colleague. That who would do such a She wants to kind of look around a little bit and sort of see like what was this, like a grenade? Was this seem to be like a gun, or sort of what might have caused this?
Also, stealing herself, Snevitz will say, maybe this is uncouth to say, but that looks like DNA. Wouldn't you agree?
And Dr. Zinnia will very awkwardly like wink at you in a way that is not sly or suave in any way.
It's okay. Lawrence isn't really. He's. Oh goodness! Oh, so much blood. Oh, this is exactly how my father went.
Oh no.
I'll tell you what, really? Dr. Zinnia.
Yes. Finger or eyeball search.
Sadly, you just got rid of chemistry, which probably would have applied here. However, you can go ahead and roll an intellect. You could take advantage because Snevitz is here as well. Snevitz, you can roll too. You're a Marine. So if you wanted to roll like your military, if you wanted to roll like intelligence with your military training or something like that, you could potentially do that as well. So whichever order you guys want to do this.
Why don't you go first, Zinnia, and see?
Yeah, you can both make a roll for sure, or one of you can make a roll and like give the other person advantage. Either one's fine.
Can I give her advantage?
Sure,
she'll probably do better.
Okay, I'm going to grab one from the audience, which put me at 56.
Yeah. Okay, give it a roll.
That works. Okay, so 56 is advantage.
Advantage is just you roll twice, make the better. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take. You roll two 10s die.
Oh.
All right.
D100 games in me. So if I roll, that's a 40 under 56.
40. Okay. I'll tell you what, Zinnia. Something very interesting is the two of you are looking at this. Snevitz, even though Zinnia, even though you're struggling with remembering chemistry, that might have helped you here as you're looking for signs of like forensic incendiary, sort of debris or whatever. And Snevitz, same sort of deal. You don't really notice any. You don't notice any like burns. You don't really notice any signs of like any shrapnel from like an exploded grenade or bomb or anything like that. And from as best you can assess, the captain's chair, the pilot's chair, we'll say, there are some bindings that have been ripped apart and are on the ground, but it definitely looks like that is the sort of the nexus of the explosion. But there's nothing around that suggests like any kind of burning or any kind of common explosive residue. It's all just like the sheer physical force of it. And you can see like there's dents and things like that, knobs, and then the viscera, the bone, all that kind of stuff all over the place.
Quite interesting. I don't see a accelerant. I don't see shrapnel.
Do you think the jump itself would have caused this? But then should something not have... I was going to say, should something not have happened to us? Something is happening to us. And
but think
there is no longer there.
It is a bit translucent. It is still visible a bit. I'm so very thankful that you did not. It just went translucent and did not go exploding like that. That's a little bit thankful. And then she's looking for an eyeball or a finger.
Oh yeah, no problem. There's a couple of those.
Okay, perfect. And so she's, oh yes, I'm so sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss. As she's like into her lab coat pocket, sticking.
I don't really know Tex all that well. As long as Dr. Holloway is okay. I wonder where he is. This is very troubling.
Did we not hear banging on the door as we were walking down the hallway? Did I not hear that? Yes, banging on the door, Snevitz. You heard that?
Me banging on the door to get into the bridge after the explosion.
I thought there was a door a couple ways down the hall. There was also some banging happening.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Where? What room?
It was through this room back to the main hallway, and then the next door on the way back out. I thought there was banging on the other side of that room.
If you backtrack, it goes to the med bay. You can backtrack. to the med bay door, and you do hear a little very heavy thump. It's not like a constant banging, it's just an occasional like thump.
Snevitz, this might be a time that your, I believe you called it brute force the door. I think you might be able to do that here.
Try. Where's it?
What's your strength?
Strength 39.
That's probably enough. But you're able to kind of force it open. And you realize that like it's not so much like when you try to go through it normally, it doesn't kind of open up properly, but it does feel like there was something on the other side. When you open it up, you can see that the room is quite dark. It's the med bay. You all just kind of maybe peeked in it before. It's very, very dark, and you see it's kind of flickering here and there, and the light kind of comes in, goes out, comes in, goes out. And when it comes in, you all see a massive, oversized crowbar that is spanning the entirety of the room. Something like a 500-600 pound crowbar, and it's just sort of like sliding slowly down the side of the wall. Like you can see like the one side of it's just like thump, thump, as it's like slowly rattling, but it's so big, it's almost like perfectly the width of the room itself. While you guys are looking at that, let's cut back over then to Chili and Stevens and Tavru as you're following the tether down. And you get to level 1. You can see the tether moves off kind of towards the, like away from the drive section, away from stern. And you, like there's a long hallway that you were kind of being motioned towards when you first got on. You come to this like intersection where there's like the life support system on one side, cargo bay kind of down the waist towards the other side. You do see the tether is going into what looks like the life support systems.
We were going to split up. We should have come up with some sort of password or passphrase so that when we see each other again, we know that we're not copies.
I thought we did.
Hit your head.
Well, we didn't actually decide on one, did we? We just split up.
Yes, but I also marked everyone with lipstick.
And you apparently muted yourself.
What if the copies have lipstick?
What you do when you fly? We just say it backwards. Anyways, I vote we go into life support.
You seem to know where you're going. I'll follow you.
I can't go another way. How is Chili holding me, by the way?
I've got you strapped with my bathrobe just on my back.
Your bathrobe.
So I got a backpack.
Is he looking? Are you back to back? Are you back to back, or
Is
do you
this
have them
C3PO?
like? Yeah.
He's the front, so I can see where we're going.
Okay, all right. So he's just like
So
okay.
he is
My
piggyback.
head over his shoulder.
Baby Bjorning.
Since that's a little distracting, I'll say Tavru, you hear voices inside. It actually almost sounds like Dr. Holloway is talking to himself. You hear, no, wait. We can figure this out. There's no, calm down. No. I already figured it out. I already know exactly what's going on here. I know what you're trying to do. I know what your little boy toy is trying to do, and I'm not going to have any of it. What do you want to do, Tavru?
Yeah, let's make some bad decisions. She's gonna enter the room.
Okay. You go into the room, and you're just going in clear as day.
She's gonna knock. Dr. Holloway, we are looking for you.
Do you knock and like open the door
At
like,
the same time?
All of these are like bulkhead.
Pull out.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like you kind of like pop the side and opens up. That's kind of how I'm envisioning. Okay. So you do that and you're like, oh, Dr. Holloway, you look in and you can see that there's fairly familiar looking life support layout. There's CO2 and H2O recyclers. There's looks like a series of like emergency O2 cylinders, a couple tools here and there. Most of this room is controlled up by the computer section of the ship, and it's not, it's not something like there's a basic like observation terminal here and there that you can kind of check on things, but for the most part, the controls are from the bridge and from computer set. But what you see in here as you follow the tether is you can see that Dr. Holloway, with a very pained look on his face, has the device, the suit on the tether, goes right into his head, and you can see standing over top of him is that same figure that you saw inside the engine room, with the sort of the mechanics, overalls, coveralls, I should say, with the GreenStar logo. Bill, they look very much alike. He looks way more like greasy and a little bit more, kind of a little bit more muscular in some ways, but their faces are exactly, and their voices sound exactly the same. Oh. And the one on the knees kind of cocks his head and you're, oh, help me, please, help me, please. And then before you get a chance to do anything, the guy, Bill, pulls the trigger on his laser pistol, and you see the head of Dr. Holloway obliterate. Everyone, including Snevitz and Zinnia, you see the room almost within a moment or two. Everything around you, the crowbar, the various medbay terminals, the cabinets, those of you down by the life support room where the cylinders are, and the various recyclers, Chili and Stevens out in the hallway looking towards the cargo, the walls, the floor, the ceiling, all of it begins to sort of dissipate into kind of like this black void again. And the body of Dr. Holloway goes with it. Tavor, you can see you're standing face to face, like just a couple feet away from the guy with the name Bill. And he kind of looks at you, head cocks, and he says something, but you can't hear him. But you can probably read his lips. And he just says, well, that's new. And just like that, everything begins to sort of come back. All of you, go ahead. So, Stevens, you realize as your brain is foggy, everything kind of is sort of strange. Stevens, one of your legs begins to reform. No longer a translucent. You can pick which one it is. Anybody else who had a translucent arm, same thing. It starts to reform once more. Those of you who've had like foggy memories, kind of forgetting you forgot a skill, you basically like this moment of clarity as it winks back comes in. So you can basically regain one lost skill or a limb. So you pick. So if you did one of each, then you just pick one. So either one lost skill or one of your limbs comes back.
Is this just for the 3 that are there?
This is for all of you.
Ooh, I suddenly feel smart.
The same effect is happening everywhere, except you're just kind of seeing different scenery when it comes back. And then
Stevens falls yet again as his leg gets caught up in Chili's bathrobe.
God dang it. Okay.
Left arm comes back into focus.
And then you can roll a sanity save, everybody, once you've gone through and reset your skills and reset your translucent limb. And again, if you have any skill that you think would help you in this situation, adapt to this crazy moment, like whether it's something scientific, whatever me. If you have a skill that you think would apply,
dice?
You can take audience dice for saves. Yeah, you can take. Gives you a plus 10.
One.
So would I please? And that's a plus 10, yeah?
Plus 10, yeah.
What about 0G, since I'm always falling?
23 under 28, so I made it this time.
I'll give you 0G just for the sake that you're used to being in space and weird shit happens in space.
Okay, so that means I got a 97 over 37.
Oh, no.
57 fail.
Rue passed. Tovaru passed.
Yeah, I passed too. For the
Passed.
fucking time.
Okay. Anybody who failed, you either lose 2 skills or one of your limbs goes translucent.
Oh no!
As my right arm is starting to come back, it just starts going translucent again.
It's like,
Same.
oh, you feel like you feel your cheek for a second, and then your hand goes through again. Stevens, you look down, you almost put your foot down to balance, but then it gives out again as you slide down, and you struggle to the back of Chili.
I won't have any
briefly had
limbs by the
another
end of the
beer.
session.
Drops it. Am I still in front of that man?
When the void comes back, you are still inside of the room that you were in before. Chili and Stevens, you're still out in the hallway, and if you peek in the door, you can still see Tavru. It certainly still looks like the what's it called? The life support room. It's got all the same kind of sort of tools and such here and there, same sort of tanks and everything. All of that still seems there. You see no signs of the body of Dr. Holloway. You see no evidence of Bill, the guy with the name on the jacket.
Everything okay in here, Rue?
You know the man, the Dr. Holloway, but in the Bill jumpsuit. He killed another Dr. Holloway.
Another one.
So currently, 3 realities, perhaps, possibly more. So I do believe my theory that they have done multiple jumps could be true.
Has our credits moved at all?
You do indeed see that your pedometer has jumped forward again, multiple. It's not just giving you credit for a single jump, but multiple jumps. The other thing, Chili and Stevens, you notice out in the hallway is that golden tether is still there, except it doesn't curve into life support the way you saw it before. It said it snakes into the cargo bay.
Oh. What are we at now? Are we at...
What do you mean? What are you at? I don't understand.
For the pedometer, are we at 5?
It's like yeah. So it's basically like you're getting like a little bit more than a single jump, but not quite 3 jumps. Somewhere in between 1 and 3 jumps per weird shift into black void. Okay, so while you guys think about that, let me explain to Dr. Zinnia and Snevitz what you see as you all are inside the doorway to the med bay, goes to black void, comes back. Lawrence is gone. You can still Snevitz. You can still feel right next to you. Schrodinger is on your leg, still kind of clinging to it, still with you. When you look into the med bay, that giant crowbar is gone. There's that flickering black lights. Snevitz, you feel Schrodinger suddenly kind of tense up a bit, like right there as you're standing in the doorway to the med bay, looking into that kind of dark, flickering room, starts to hiss. And then when the lights come back, both Snevitz and Dr. Zinnia, you see a swarm of rats come charging at you. Except each one of these rats, they look very strange. They have the body of a rat, the tail of a rat, but you said the head is like this very small, kind of bald, yellow-skinned, almost humanoid-looking face that is charging at you. You guys have a moment to do something. What do you want to do?
We slam the door and
Absolutely.
Close the door.
Yeah.
You close it. One of them, let's see if one of them can get through. One of them manages to get into the doorway as you slam it.
I will kick Schrodinger towards it.
Well, no, that's not what I meant. Like as you were closing it, you slam it on top of it, and
good.
And you hear all as there's like this little mini localized explosion. You see a little shake of the door, and then like there's like this sort of red and yellow goo that's seeping down the side.
Quick question. Humanoid face, human, like someone we recognize human?
No, just pretty unremarkable. You didn't really see any like no eyebrows or mouth or anything. Just like a yellow face.
It's Snivets, that room just a moment ago had a wrench crowbar, right? Giant crowbar.
Yes. I'm looking over at Lawrence. Are any of his sons?
Lawrence isn't here. It's just the two of you, and it's Schrodinger. You look over, you talk to Lawrence, and you realize Lawrence isn't there, actually.
Lawrence was here, was he not?
Was yes, very 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 much was. You did an excellent job of calming him down earlier. Actually, the pedometer was so smart. You calmed him down much better than I did. No, he is gone.
Thank you.
Dr. Zinnia is gonna crouch down and try to get sort of like face to face with the cat.
Schrodinger? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why is it that you always seem to be here? No matter what else is going on, you always seem to be here. Sort of.
Head kind of turns to the side. And then
Let's keep scooching.
so fast, Paul comes up and scrapes your face, Dr. Zinnia.
Sure.
Oh no, it's bad kitty.
You grab the kitty, Snevitz, and she just starts licking your chin. So affectionate.
I'm sorry.
You are no Toma. You are no Toma.
Hey, listen, so we might die. I need to say this to someone.
This seems clear that we, yes.
Stevens might be my brother. I haven't told anybody, but I was adopted
similar.
and, from an orphanage, and I was told I had a brother, and I think it would be Steven.
Well, that is quite the. It would be sad if you were not
I
able
look
to
like
talk about
Stevens,
that.
though, don't I? Like, we have the same chin and the same nose.
You very very and Zinnia's sort of a little taken aback by like this one she finds attractive that looks similar to this one that's not so much. And she's like,
hold it now.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope that we can solve this mystery and the two of you are able to. And she just sort of pats Snevitz on the shoulder back.
Pulls her close.
As you two are hugging, Dr. Zinnia, you look over Snevitz's shoulder towards where the med bay is, where the little rat with the golden head exploded. You can see like a little bit of goo is sort of like coalescing and forming, and there is now even a tinier little kind of roach-sized creature with a what you think is like this bulbous golden head. It's very difficult to see, and it begins sort of skittering up towards like Snevitz's leg.
Oh, and really without any suaveness to this at all, Zinnia just sort of pulls back and kind of reaches into her bag very quickly and pulls out, she has a sample kit. So she's just going to be, kind of like, sort of like pushes you away because there's work to be done. Okay. And she kind of pulls out the sample kit and just stand, move. And she's going to like, just kind of like ease that into kind of this little like tube, put the cap on it.
So you pick it up and grab it in your test tube, and the two of you hear the sound of Lawrence. His voice sounds a little different, but you can hear what sounds like help, coming from right around the corner. You are in the med bay. You think it's probably coming from the science lab. So I'll ping where you guys are. You are in 3, which is the med lab, and the med bay. The science lab is 5.
Well, at least he always makes a large sound so that we know exactly where he is when he appears again. Let us go. So Zinnia puts the sample in her bag, kind of puts everything back together. Are you ready?
You skitter back into the galley, and you see it looks mostly the same. There is one very large difference. Sitting on top of the table in the middle that's bolted to the floor is another Schrodinger cat, except where a Siamese cat's head was, there is now a fairly large yellow bald male face, and you just hear, like, coming from that voice as the mouth kind of opens, you just hear, "Howdy." We're gonna cut down to Chili and Tavru and Stevens.
What?
No, I'm sorry. We're cutting to other people are trying to play the game, Melissa.
Right?
Chili and Stevens and Tavru, you are in this. You're in the on the first floor, level 1. You are in the life support systems. There's no one here. The tether seems to go into the cargo area. What do you 3 want to do?
So either we follow again to the cargo area, or we try and investigate elsewhere. I do believe if we do enter the cargo and Bill is there with another Dr. Holloway, we will go through another horrifying ordeal again where we're in the void and it sees us. We have to think about everything.
My leg almost came back when we saw Bill. Maybe if we see him again, I get both my legs back.
Okay, well, you must be prepared to remove the apparatus that we have attached to you. Because what if your leg reforms and it's now the apparatus is in the middle? It could
The prosthetic's gone at this point. When I have only one leg, I'm not using one prosthetic. Or when I have 0 legs, I'm not using one prosthetic.
Oh, okay. So what do you vote?
Follow your lead. Just keep the tether.
Oh, okay. Stevens?
Okay.
Yes?
Heather, let's get to the bottom of this. I want my legs back.
Tavru, you open the door into the cargo bay following the tether. So the cargo bay looks mostly like you've left it before. Tons of crates of all sizes. Same kind of GreenStar logo on them. Tons of, there's food, tools, supplies, fuel, all sorts of things in here. At least that's what Tech said when you came in. You do see that the tether seems to kind of snake through a couple stacks of them and is like in this sort of dark corner of the cargo bay behind a few stacks of these strapped down crates.
Okay. Do we have like different ways to like flank around it?
I mean, it's a tether going into a corner, so like
It's just in a corner. Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's just in a corner of the cargo bay, so like you could, if you want to take different angles, you can.
Yeah, she powers on.
Okay. When you start kind of climbing over tops of some of these crates and things like that. Give me a speed test as you do so. Stevens and Chili, what are you 2 doing? And if you have like athletics or something, by the way, you can do that.
I do not.
Let's see what the transporting. Check out the cargo.
Okay. You're going to start checking out the cargo? Okay.
Yeah.
That is a fail.
Okay. So as Topper is kind of climbing over top of some of these stacks, Chili and Stevens, you start kind of opening up some of these crates here and there. And almost like at the exact same moment, Tavru falls, kind of like stumbles into a stack of these crates. 2 small ones, maybe that one of them is sort of the size of like a big milk crate. Another one a little bit like more rectangular and a little bit longer. They both fall to the ground and sort of open up. Chili, you and Stevens are going through a much bigger one, and like the lids kind of pop off, and you guys see just kind of sitting up in the middle of those crates, each one of them, and almost like in this sort of almost happens like in unison. You can see these various shaped people with yellow bald heads, features. They've got what looks like these small kind of coveralls on, and you can see there's a name tag that says Bud, and they all of them at the exact same time, echoing throughout the cargo bay, say, "Howdy." Each of you go ahead and take a stress, and obviously Zinnia and Snevich, you probably should have actually taken it. Actually, no, you guys are fine. You guys are fine.
Howdy?
Howdy. Tavru, you hear from the corner, you hear just like this babbling. You hear, it sounds like Dr. Holloway's voice. Pawn, fate, thrill, phone. Pawn, fate, thrill, phone. No howdy, no howdy, no howdy.
I want to try and rip the helmet off his head.
Okay, so you go stumbling over, and you want. So you're going to try to rip. So you're just basically trying to rip the helmet off.
Yeah.
Chili and Stevens, what are you guys doing?
Talking to these bald heads.
Okay, what do you say?
What are you? Who are you?
Howdy.
Yes.
Why are you here?
Howdy.
Howdy. Howdy. What? Howdy.
As you're screaming howdy, howdy, why are you here at them? Tavru, you hop over, you see there's Dr. Holloway in the corner babbling. You grab the helmet, you're like tearing like the tether and the helmet off, and you hear no, and you rip it free. And all of a sudden, all of your brains go very foggy. The entire world begins to go dark as you see the howdies, the cat, the various floors, crates, ceilings, walls diminish until it's nothing but black void. Each of you who have lost a limb, you can see your limb begins to rematerialize in front of you. Any of you who have lost skills, optionally, instead of reclaiming a limb, you can get a skill back.
Ooh.
And then when you're done doing that, roll a sanity test as the world begins to reform once more around you.
Oh,
I have
gosh.
another audience dice, please.
Let me check the total. Yes.
Awesome.
Another
I
fail.
got an 11. It's a
Hey,
crit
crit.
success.
Very nice.
Very nice.
does
You can.
anything.
I can't remember if there's a effect for it, but you can restore a sanity. You can gain a sanity, like reduce your sanity by
That's
one.
a fail.
That's the best.
Keep rolling the same thing. Okay, there we go.
Sorry, did you say stress or sanity?
It's stress is the thing that tracks. Like the sanity was
Right.
the roll, so you can
Right.
reduce your
Sanity.
stress by one.
Thank you.
I am never going to pass a sanity check. I failed again.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Uh,
have with the audience dice last time.
Okay. So
I
as
rolled
the
a
world
94, so there is no saving me.
as the world begins to materialize itself, once more, we'll start in the cargo where Chili, Stephens, and Tavru, you are once again here. Tavru, your hands are kind of in the shape of like kind of holding that strange helmet device. However, it is not in your hands. Dr. Holloway is not in front of you. Chili and Stevens, you are by this open crate where there had been a strange man with what looks like that bald yellow face. Not there now. Instead, inside that crate, you can see what looks like all sorts of bags and sacks of catnip.
What is going on? What is going on?
Stevens, I do believe I have said previously, listening ears, please. Different realities, yes?
Why are my legs in different realities?
Why is my arm still in a different reality? Because it wasn't able to come with us. So the most important question, do we continue to just keep finding Dr. Holloway and keep jumping from reality to reality, or is there a way to get back to our reality? Because howdy, men, I did not like that. That was weird.
Stevens reaches out to strangle Rue, but just can't reach because he's still got no legs.
As that's happening, Chili, you hear something kind of behind you, and you hear something kind of clatter. You turn around, and you see a naked man, sort of almost like on all fours, like with his arms kind of down and like almost like a monkey style, like leaping and kind of knocking stuff over, and just kind of looks up at you. And it's just skirting left and right. Not familiar. Doesn't look like anyone you necessarily know. Kind of heavy beard, very like a lot of like body hair as well. Not a whole lot of grooming going on here. Just sort of like moving a little bit back and forth, kind of staring up at you.
I'll stare back, watch his movements.
Okay. Okay. They hop up on a crate, and then they kind of like hit the ground and then up to their mouth. Hit the ground, up to their mouth.
Looks at the crate next to me and throw some of that catnip over.
Oh, you see as you throw the catnip over it, and it just kind of with this like feral, and then just it continues to kind of like hit the ground and then it's in its mouth. You get the sense it wants food, but they're not a cat, and you just threw it catnip.
Don't have food on me. Just rude. Do you have anything, Steven?
Wrote
How about a beer? I'll pour a puddle on the ground of beer.
Okay, so you see it like
So we can lap it up like a cat.
slowly kind of like hops over in this very monkey style movement, like very carefully, constantly looking at you, leans down, and then goes to town on it, like, and starts like drinking it up.
Oh, I've got more where that came from.
We will. So while you're feeding beer to this feral monkey-like human, we'll cut to Zinnia and Snevitz. You were in the galley when you watch the world dissipate around you. You come back, your brain's swirling. You look up. You are still in the galley. Snevitz, you can feel Schrodinger still kind of on your leg or on your arm, whatever it might be, still next to you. You're looking straight ahead, Zinnia, and in the galley, for the most part, when you look at it, it doesn't look like radically different, but it certainly doesn't look like it's it doesn't look like it's like the table is not actually there, but like the rest of the shape of the room is the same. Instead, you just kind of see along the outsides, there's just like a trough that kind of goes along the outside. And you see right in the middle, you can see the cat that has the cat body and that yellow head. Howdy! And standing a few feet from, you see the body, or not the body, but you see Dr. Holloway, tether attached to his head. Kind of turn and look at the Howdy and look at you like, and he just starts like freaking out. And it kind of starts stumbling towards one of you. It hurts so much. Grabs you, Zinnia, and just
What hurts? What hurts?
Everything.
Snevitz, cut it.
I am going to.
You can certainly try, but as you do, you realize you can't. You slice at it, you cut at it, you tear at it, and like there's no cutting that cable.
Can you just get out of it? I'm gonna hold it and ask. And
No. Oh, where's Lawrence?
He was with us, and then he wasn't.
Wait.
Oh God.
Wow, how can we help you? How can we help you? You have to stop this.
And he's just kind of like staring off at something unseen. and he's just still
what's
clinging
the
to your
cat
arm.
doing? That howdy cat in all this.
Looks at you, comes over, and much like the original Schrodinger, just kind of rubs on you, and like kind of looks over towards regular Schrodinger, and it's just like, howdy. And then regular Schrodinger says, meow, howdy, meow, howdy. And then that goes back and forth for a minute or two. While Schrodinger is, or not Schrodinger, while Holloway is like panicking, like squeezing onto your arm, Zinnia, and sort of begging for Lawrence, who, I remind you, was screaming for help. But that was before the entire world basically just, did the thing.
Zinnia, as much as I hate to leave you alone, can I leave you with the doctor and I will?
Just go find him. Just go find him. Yes, just go.
Okay, so Snevitz, where do you go?
I'm following where I thought I heard the scream.
Okay, so if you just want to go, you go down a short hallway from the galley. You kind of go up to the door, and you see that there is like a very kind of odd looking panel next to the door that you would normally kind of punch in. It doesn't look quite the same. Like the mechanics of the opening the door looks a little different. It doesn't honestly make any real sense at all, actually. It's just like this. What the hell does that even do? It's just this circular, and just like this circular kind of not an orifice so much as like a circular panel. There's like a pressure pad on it or something.
Do I have any way to? What? No, I have my notebook and my pen that I scratch terrible poetry in. Can I try and draw this to take back and show Zunia?
Sure.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
do I need to roll anything?
No. You can just do it. Like, this doesn't require a roll. Zinnia, you're in here. The guy's still clinging to you. When you see you hear a voice coming from speaker somewhere. Who are you?
Zinnia? Who are you?
You hear like alarms start ringing, and a voice kind of comes out. That same voice says, "Pets are loose in the galley. Please retrieve and put them back in their pens."
Who do you think you are? No, pet. This is not a... No. Dr. Holloway, does that voice belong to someone you employ?
Dr. Holloway is still clinging to your arm and is just like... You hear the door down the hallway, Zinnia, burst open, and you see stumbling onto the ground, coming out of the med bay, standing up and kind of running with fear on his eyes. You can see that guy, Bill, as he runs into the galley. Ah! Oh, perfect. And he starts to draw his laser pistol. When the klaxons get louder, all of a sudden, all of the entryways, the doorways that like the hallways that kind of lead out of the galley, these airlocks just come down, like these sturdy bulkhead doors just slam down, shaking. Snevitz, you are now trapped between the bulkhead that goes into the galley and the door that goes into the science lab. And Zinnia, you hear the sudden as gas starts kind of entering in. Go ahead and roll, let's say we'll make this like a strength test. If you have anything like athletics or something, you can go ahead and roll that.
Sure don't, but I've got a 43 in strength, and I'll take, do we have any audience left? Let me check. I think we do. We do 53, 37 under 53.
Okay, you feel yourself getting a little drowsy. You can see the man up in front with the gun is kind of pointing it at you. Dr. Holloway is like crouching behind you, and The man holding the gun points, coughs as well, and you can see he's getting a little sturdy. Please get out of my way. I'll shoot you if I have to. I don't want to, but I really need to shoot that one out of the way.
It doesn't solve anything. We've seen it over and over. It doesn't solve anything. There's a different solution. That is not it.
And you see manifesting between you and him, you see what looks like this hologram begins to form. This large cat, and this sort of kind of bluish hollow, like you can see it even brighter as the whatever gas is coming into the galley is happening. Kind of stands between you, and you can hear the voice once more. Tisk tisk. Oh, what horrible person uplifted these despicable humans. This is so. Goodness, this is repulsing. This is an affront to nature. Don't worry. Go to sleep. Yes, go to sleep. As the two of you kind of get really, really drowsy. We're going to cut back into the cargo bay. Cargo bay. You've got this monkey man in front of you, lapping up beer. What do the three of you want to do?
Did we have another like golden cord coming out from anywhere in here?
Don't see anything in here now. From what
Tofu,
you know, it connects Dr. Holloway to the drive.
So that's what Tovru would want to do, is go back to the drive room.
Okay.
Do you have a name? Talking to the monkey man.
Howdy? Shall we see if you can get it to come with us?
I'll put a hand out.
I'll tell you what, you gave it beer. It will flinch at first, but then kind of lean and genuflect a little bit, and then your hand kind of starts petting it on its head, and it's just, and very much like a dog, it just sort of starts to, like its leg starts to go as you manage to hit the right spot.
Come on with us, boy. Or man, I should say.
And so this loping kind of naked man covered in the hair, because he's probably never had a haircut in his life, starts loping like after you. You guys get to the lift to go back up, and I assume you're trying to get back to the drive, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you get over to the lift, and you can see standing in the middle of that lift is Schrodinger, like regular Schrodinger, like the Schrodinger that
like
you've seen.
The one that I marked with lipstick?
No, in fact, but it looks like a regular cat. And you hear a voice suddenly as the mouth of Schrodinger begins to move, and it looks in the direction of Stevens, and it says, "Oh, Stevens, I'm so grateful you're still okay. I've missed you so much," and begins to slowly prowl over towards you. Oh, I was very worried about you. Everything was absolutely terrifying. Oh, goodness. And just kind of looks up at you. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end for tonight, I think.
Instinctively pull back my leg just to realize it's not there.
It's not there.
Oh.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
There you go. That is episode 1. Oh boy, guys.
Yeah.
Boy, you guys
I
really
thought
got
I
into
wouldn't
it
have any
fast.
limbs.
Did that happen at all how you expected it to happen?
It went a little faster, I thought, than I anticipated. I didn't figure we'd get as many jumps, but we did. We got a couple jumps there. So that was nice. That was nice. A little more than I thought.
We lost skills, we gained skills, we lost skills again.
I think that's what really pushed us forward. We're like, fuck, I need to get my legs back.
Except like I gain
yeah.
one thing and then I lose 2 things. I'm not ahead with this equation.
It's a really tricky scenario to run, because like there is a certain amount of prep you can do, but then after that it's just reaction. And like even for the right, like it's just going to be reaction for now, because there's so many like rolls and stuff that you do like that sort of changes the way it is. And I'm trying to run it true, and it's just like,
I feel really bad that the party is split into 3 groups.
I think it's hilarious, actually, because like you guys are triggering shit all over here. I have no idea what's going on. Edo, this is a scenario called Roadwork. It is from the Hull Breach anthology that came out earlier this year. So this is what I'm doing. If you want to take a look at it,
Fucking delightful.
It's so cool.
yeah,
Oh yeah, totally.
yeah.
It's just unsettling in all the right ways.
The sanity, I always feel a little bad because the sanity saves, it's sanity save over and over again, and I feel bad for Stevens, but I don't know.
I mean, I think most of us have pretty bad sanity, to be fair.
Except for
Really just
friggin'
scientists.
Zinnia.
Because scientists are the ones who get bonuses to sanity, and then I think Marines get bonuses to fear.
Yeah,
So like you get bonuses.
Actually, I forgot that y'all should be making fear saves when I fail on that.
Oh yeah, you start shooting the gun out.
Next
Crazy.
time I'll remember.
All right, everybody.
Do you at least have decent
everybody needs to
fear?
panic.
I have decent fear.
Because I have 26. So if we're
I have
hanging out
42
together,
on
I'm rolling
fear,
a
so
26.
I think we have opposite stats, basically.
Yeah. All right. So we'll have another session of this. We should be able to finish it, I think, next time, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is fun. So it's do you guys have a sense of what's happening?
Yeah, my legs are in Schrodinger's box, except I'm looking inside it.
Okay.
I don't, and I love that I don't.
Okay.
I mean, somehow we've got to disconnect him. I
Yeah.
think.
That's
thought
about
was-
as far as I've gotten.
Just getting stuck in between jumps is what I'm sensing so far.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are. You're circling around it. I think you're like there's some key bits that you still have to like kind of get from certain areas. But again, like there's so many things with random rolls, and so like it sort of shifts when that information might come to you depending upon when you roll. So sometimes you're encountering things without context. Sometimes you're encountering things with all the context in the world. So like it's this is the type of scenario I feel like you could run like 3 or 4 times and have like vastly different.
I can see that.
Vastly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some plugs. Let's start with Maitre. Maitre, where can we find you on the internet?
When I'm not forcing myself against these guys, I might play games on YouTube. Should check me out if you want.
Fantastic. Link is in the chat. Link is in the description if you're watching this later on YouTube. As for us, next game is Monday, where you can see me. You can see, which is probably not enticing, but you can see Melissa and you can see Maitre as we're playing Fragged Empire. Full party as we're finally going to find Jeremy. He has finally apologized enough. So we're letting him rejoin. And and yeah, Joe's in the chat. There he is. Yeah. We had a delightful conversation between a bacteria and a fungus. It was awesome. So what else after that? Tuesday, Steven, what's going on Tuesday?
We are back to Marvel Multiverse RPG. We're going to be in our X-Men universe, Earth LOL. Jeff will be there, Melissa will be there, and then Kipser and Aaron. Should be a lot of fun. We're playing our custom X-Men, and they are in some deep shit right now. They think they're doing well, but they're going to find out how poorly they're actually doing.
Spoiler alert.
I don't really listen to his threats because they're all empty.
He threatens, yeah.
They're all so empty.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Sounds like a challenge to me, Steven.
Let's see what do I have after that. Thursday we'll be doing some Werewolf the Apocalypse. A lot of the same folks from X-Men. Not Steven though. He said no. But you can catch us over there on Thursday. Lots of fun in that. Friday we'll be back to Delta Green, where Steven tried to ruin the campaign. Just tried to end it really fast because, like,
I feel like I was pretty successful.
Fuck all these people in New York. Let's just get them all killed. That's basically what Steven was thinking.
The game designer wouldn't put it in the adventure if they didn't want me to do it. That's all I'm saying.
That is a weird theory. And then Saturday, we'll be back to this, and we'll have the conclusion of our road work for Mothership. Also, check out the YouTube page if you haven't. Adventures in Lollygagging. We just started up Session 0 last night of our new Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory games. That should be going up on YouTube pretty soon. And you can see other things like Monster of the Week and all of our old games like Die and Haunted West and a bunch of stuff. So if you haven't already subbed over at YouTube, please do so. It'd be awesome. And if you haven't followed us here on Twitch, that'd be great as well. We are going to go ahead and raid our friends at the Boys from the Baltic Star. They're playing Orbital Blues, which is a favorite of mine and ours. We've played it before. It's very, very good. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Howdy.
Bye.